And one day I went, why don't I just get the answer first? And it worked. I won't do it any other way now. That's part of the process. For them to get insurance, they have to give me their social. I have to check their background and medical stuff, and then I give you a price. So if I don't get social, they don't get price. You lose all your leverage the second you give a price away. You lose all leverage. All right, I'm gonna go mostly over the structure page 24. I'm gonna start there. We made this little page here if you haven't been in it yet. If you go to phone script on the side, and Reese made it really cool because I hate phone scripts. He made it where you click on it, it crosses out the script. That was all Reese that made that work. Talk about the structure, and I just break it down into 6 sections, which you can clearly see in the thing. But if you're interested, if you get on here, we actually have videos in each section that will like play.
Hey, Miss Catherine.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, Miss Tina.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, Charles.
So each section, whatever I talk about in there,
Yeah.
he took.
Hey, what's up? It's John calling you back over with the insurance. How are you?
Karen?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? It's John over with the insurance. How are you?
You just see that kind of
I talked to him twice this week.
over and over again. Each section. So Reese took all of my content.
I'm in full opinion right now.
Okay, good. I love it. I was just calling you back. I got another request from you today. I haven't been able to get a hold of you, but you had sent in the request where you put in you were in the Army and date of birth at Quest. It looks like you trying to get you some insurance in place for burial or something.
Into it, yes.
Okay. I was just calling to verify. You put down date of birth 74. Is that correct?
Yes, that's me.
Cool. You a smoker or no?
So anyway, each one of these sections that we go through, I don't know how far are you?
Just the first one.
First one? So the open has it? Okay, so the first 4 sections here have a video attached to it. Long term, he's gonna, as he keeps editing stuff, because we have them all mapped out already, each section, we're gonna have literally video clips of me, because again, if I'm more of the structure, what are we trying to accomplish versus exactly the words I'm using. And if I explain that on paper, it's one thing, but what I wanted to do is take the live recordings of me making the actual calls, doing the thing that they actually do, and chopping it up and going, can you take this section out of 5 different videos and just play it 5 different times over so people can see there's slight variations in the way I say it, but I'm basically saying the same thing. There's something I'm shooting for. Sometimes, I mean, you could just see it in those few where there was little tiny variations in the way I say it. It's not like Clint may do word for word every time. It's just, I don't do well there. If someone needs me to follow a script, I'm going to overthink it. I'd rather go like, let me just be me, get the concept down. Not that I never had I mean, certainly everyone's had scripts over the years. So for me, as I build this out, and those of you that don't do just final expense, again, I want you to just take this concept of, can you break down what you're trying to accomplish on the phone for your agents very simply into small little sections so they know at each area, what are we trying to accomplish first? You know, and I've learned over the years that so many agents, when they're making phone calls, you know, when I ask, like, what are you trying to accomplish when you're making phone calls? Most people are telling me I'm trying to accomplish booking appointments or make a sale. And I'm like, well, okay, that's not what I'm trying to accomplish on my phone call. When I'm dialing, I'm trying to get them to pick up. That's my first step. I'm not anything. I'm just, my entire strategy is how can I get more people to answer is step 1. Which we've sort of talked about. I don't think I need to touch on too much, but if you have questions about that side, you can certainly ask. But obviously the triple dial, the cadence in which I call, and I think as you start to teach this thing, if you can learn how to explain the why and remove the fear of having people dial at whatever cadence you teach, that's going to be more impactful than I can certainly say I triple dial and it works well. People don't care, and they still overthink it. But if I can make some of those analogies about someone dying and looking down and what it looks like after they die, if they're dead, like that hits people and they're like, holy shit, that's a different perspective. That makes sense. That gives me a good reason because I care for people on why I should dial, because I can convince someone they're hurting people by not calling them enough. Where in their head, they first thought they were hurting them by calling them a bunch. You know what I mean? I gotta work on changing the psychology of the way they look at the attempt at contacting the lead. So, you know, as you guys are starting to work with your agents, that's by far, the place where you lose the most people is when they have to start making phone calls. That's where it's at. At the beginning, it's freaking getting them into class to take step 1. When you hire someone, the first step is where you lose the most people. Once they make it past that step and they get their license or get their contracting done, fine. The phones kills everyone.
I got a question there.
Yeah.
So I have an agent who was following, he's sitting there as a room listening and going through it with, role played with them, handing him some leads. He jumps in, he's supposed to dial, but he doesn't dial. He just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow up with that person or?
Like, explain. So he was on a dial day.
No, on a dial day, hand him some leads,
Yeah.
he's ready to go.
He was gone.
He was gone.
Yeah, that's no. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for not wasting next week on me.
I didn't even know
Yeah,
that was-
that's right. So like I'm this way with leads too. When I'm calling leads or I'm dealing with agents or really anything, I don't really care what the answer is. You're gonna buy insurance or you're not? I don't care. Are you gonna work with me or you're not? I don't care. Are you gonna stay or you're gonna quit? I don't care. Can we just figure it out now? I just want to know now. I don't want to wait 3 weeks to find out if you're gonna be a wuss on the phone. I'd rather find out today. Right? So as I'm teaching people how to dial, I've learned how to do it in a way that I find out who they are quick. Because everyone says they're going to go through it. Everyone says they're willing to make the phone calls. And everyone says, no, I can handle a rejection. Everyone says all the right things as you're getting them started. No one's like, I'm scared. I'm going to be a wuss. And I'm probably only going to call one time each. And I'm going to take 45 minutes between each phone call because I'm nervous and the anxiety needs me to get it. But they're not going to tell you all that stuff. You know, so from the jump, I've always done things like, and again, I like to ask questions to get people to, it's just like the sales side, dude. If I can get them to verbally tell me what they're willing to do, it's very easy for me to hold them accountable to that thing, right? Because again, coming in, and we'll talk more about this part tomorrow, but you know this, it's like, I need people to be coachable, do the thing they say they're gonna do, and communicate if they can't. Do that thing. All right, it's coachable. Do what you say you're going to do. If you can't do what you say you're going to do, communicate with me. Those are my three. You follow those, or I'm out. Right now, that doesn't mean you have to make 4,000 phone calls a day. That ain't what it is. I said be coachable, which means if you're making one and I say you need to make 30 and you say you can, now you have to make 30 because you said you would. If you want to make $1 million, do what you say. So part of it is I got to figure out who they are, where they're at now, where they want to go, and kind of what they're willing to sacrifice in the middle. That's all important factors in how I coach people. I don't have a one-size-fits-all for volume necessarily or activity, but it's really based on where they want to go. Now, if they don't have the ability to do a lot of activity, I have to make very clear that it's probably going to suck forever. You're probably not going to get rich. You know what I mean? So if you have low activity standards, fine. You just got to be ready to be broke a lot and inconsistent and frustrated, especially when you miss a sale and then you get a chargeback in the same week and leads are due and your bills are due. Like that week's going to suck. So I'm very clear about that process. So for me, what I want to do is, again, I want to know very fast if they're going to be able to handle the phones and if they are willing to do what they say they will or do what they say they're willing to do. And so as I get people started, I'm very methodical about finding out when they can start making phone calls, how early they can start, specifically, what day and what time. I want to know that. And I'm going to push them. Hey, Clint, hey, looks like you got your paperwork ready, all good. Hey, you ready to start dialing? Like, when do you think you can get on the phones? Whatever day you say, you know what I mean? If they're like, hey, anytime. All right, can you start? You good tomorrow? You good Monday? You good? Whatever day I'm picking. You know? And go, okay. Do you have any obligation? Now, I usually know something about their schedule already at this point, so it's not like a guess at this stage. I kind of know if they got stuff or kids or work. You know what I mean? I kind of know. Like, all right, Monday morning, you good to start? Like, we have the 7 a.m. club. Are you good to start at 7, or you got something else going on Monday where you can't start early? Or what do you got going on Monday morning if that's your start day? What do we got? And I get them to verbalize it to me. What do you think? What's normal? Like 9, 10? Like, you know what I mean? It depends how it goes. They're like, nah, I can start. Cool. You tell me what time to start. I'll start. I just get them to verbalize what they're willing to do. If I can push someone, I'm going to, because it's who I am. When I ask people all the time, when people start asking me about questions about how they're doing, I go, what time do you start dialing? 9. I go, why so late? 8. Why so late? It's always my question. Why so late? People are like, wait, what? I thought that was early. You know what I mean? And then I can go, dude, if I gave you $1 per dial, what time would you start? 4 a.m. I hear the craziest stories. So I get them to verbally commit to a day and a time, number one. And then I go, all right, fine, if you can start it, let's pretend it's 8 o'clock. I go, all right, 8 o'clock. Now, each phone call, I know you've never dialed leads before, but if you call your mom and she doesn't answer and it goes to voicemail, how long does that take? Everyone answers 30 seconds, 40 seconds. You know what I mean? I go, okay, so on average, it's going to take 1 minute for you to make a phone call. Now, keep in mind, I don't know how many you're going to pick up, but my pickup rate is fucking like 6%. So out of 100 phone calls, I'm talking to 6 people. So 94 times, it's going straight to voicemail or to voicemail, right? So the overwhelming majority of the time, I'm not speaking to someone. So when I say a minute per dial, that's probably going to be the average throughout the day. If you talk to someone for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, fine. If you make a presentation, fine. But on average, it's going to take you 1 minute to make a phone call. Okay? So that means in the ballpark, Clint, when you're starting on Monday, what I would do if I were you, this helped my career. When I tried to, because agents where they mess up is pacing. They start dialing at 8, and then they dial all day, and in their head they dialed all day. My version is many of them just take all day to dial. I go, what does that mean? Dude, if you make 20 phone calls in an hour, and I make 60 phone calls in an hour, who's probably going to sell more insurance? You. Naturally. So what I really want you to pay attention to when you start is, what is your pacing? How quick are you calling the second lead? When you hang up with the first lead, how quick do you dial the next one? And I've already talked to you about triple dialing, doing all the things, right? So I'm going 1 minute per phone call. I need you to shoot for about 60 phone calls an hour. If you hit 20, you're not doing enough. If you hit 100, you're probably lying to me. You're going to be somewhere in the 40, 50, 60 range, depending on how many people pick up per hour. Does that make sense? Okay. So what I want to do is I want you for the first day, and I know this is going to sound really odd and uncomfortable because I know you want to make sales. But for the first day, Clint, I want your entire goal to be to get like 30 or 40 people today to tell you to fuck off in some form or fashion. Do you know why?
Build up muscle, the reps is insane.
Certainly helps. If you don't get objections, I got nothing to work on. Right? I don't want to role play, make believe stuff. I want to help you fix real stuff. So without you speaking to people and them hanging up on you, I got nothing to fix. Right? So I need you to give me stuff to fix. So if you can't get 30 of people, 40 people, I mean, if you talk to 5 people today, I have nothing really to fix. It's like going to play golf and swinging 5 times and thinking Tiger Woods is going to help you get to the Masters. It's probably not going to happen. Right? So goal today, get 30 or 40 people on the phone. If they all tell you to F off, we're going to call it a good day because it's going to be educating. If you happen to book some appointments, make some sales, make some presentations, just a bonus. Is that fair? Yes, they'll agree the whole way through. All right, the way we're going to do it though, Clint, is we're going to break this down into sections day 1. You said you can start at 8. You and I are going to check in together at noon. I was going to give you 4 hours to do this. 60 phone calls, 4 hours. You should be somewhere in the ballpark of a couple hundred phone calls. Technically, it's 240, right? I want you to just take a quick note, 5 seconds. If you get an objection, write it down. Don't stress on it. Don't worry about it. Don't watch a video on it. Don't stress at all. Just write it down. We're going to look at all of them at noon, and we're going to go over them. We're going to make a couple tweaks to it. Okay? Now, Clint, if I call you at noon, dude, and you have 75 dials, that says you don't really want to do this and you don't want my help. Is that okay?
Yep.
8 to noon, 60 phone calls an hour. Give me 30 or 40 people at the end of the day to catch up to. We'll make a small tweaks at noon. Noon, we talk. You know how many times that fucker ghosts me at noon? But I know at noon. I don't want to wait till Tuesday. I don't want to wait till next week. I want to know at noon. Noon, I know what he's made of.
I knew pretty early. I stopped calling. I didn't.
My mom had this thing, and I only had the flat tire, and my dog, and I got like 60 in, man, and just nobody picked up, dude. It was just going tough, man, and I wasn't sure what to do, so I had to take a break, and bro. Now I have to work on patience as a human. So I go, okay, I understand, Clint, things happen. Good news is it's early. We're going to do the same thing from 12 to 4. Do you think 12 to 4 you can do it with no distractions? You know what I mean? And I'm going to reset and do it again 12 to 4. And then I can do the same thing again 4 to 8. Dude, I do that 3 times on day 1, bro. I know who I got. I'm not confused who I'm working with. You know, and honestly, I know that fast. This is not complicated to figure out if the person you're working with is willing to do the work. Because again, he said he'd do it. He said he's open. He got his permission. He said he's willing to work 12 hours. You know what I mean? Now, single mom that's like, hey, I got 3 hours after I drop them off to daycare. Fine, same concept. 3 hours, what can you do in those 3 hours? 60 phone calls an hour. You call from 8 to 11. We'll talk at 11 on your way to daycare to pick up the kid. Here's what we got to do. Fine. I can use that concept in any scenario I want. But I'm going to get them to commit to stuff. Again, I'll challenge them to do a little bit more. I'm going to give them the pacing they should expect. I'm going to set the expectation that a lot of people are going to tell you to F off, so buckle up for the rejection. But I'm going to help you fix it when you get it. And I can't fix it till you get me a bunch of it. You know? And it makes the process for getting started easy. And if you're not doing this, you're on your own, because I see everyone's numbers. Most people aren't doing 60 phone calls an hour. They sure as shit ain't doing it for 10 hours straight. And I'm not saying you have to. But I see a lot of people make 122 phone calls in a day, and I'm like, cute. You know? When we looked at his stuff the other day, I was like, not to be mean, bro. You worked a half a day 3 days last week. Like, I don't, 200 phone calls all day. And now he's making money, so fine. Ain't mad at him. But when he went, I thought I'd do better. Dude, you worked half a day. What do you want me to do, bro? I'm not that good. I don't know. I don't know how to make you rich working half a day. I don't know the answer. I've never figured it out. If I do it, I teach it. You know what I mean? And the guy on the internet that teaches it, I don't know, he doesn't seem to have any agents. So it's fucking weird. He has a 100% close ratio. Everyone fucking shows up and all his leads buy, but he has no team. Weird. So sorry. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Do they exist? Yes, probably. I'm sure he's there. But the rest of us ain't that good. So let's work with what the most people have to fall into, you know?
If you've been looking for a tool to help manage your day-to-day activity, your clients, you can text your clients post-sale. My phone script, as y'all know, I hate scripts, but the structure and phone script I use is in here. There's leaderboards. You can track deposits, leads, all your analytics. You can get my tracker at tracker.johnwetmore.com that I personally use to manage my entire business and my entire agency for you agency folks out there. Feel free to check it out. The dial tracker is free. It keeps up with your daily activity, lets you know how you're doing day in and day out. There's cool badges you can earn. It keeps track of your hours worked, talk time, the whole deal. For you agency folks, this is something my team uses internally to manage all of our issue paid, all of our leaderboards, all of our debt. You can see everything on each individual agent in your group and see how much activity they have and how many leads they're buying and what their monthly production looks like. And that way you can help manage them, help push them, help them hit their goals, and more importantly, help them be more profitable. So this is literally a tool I use internally day in and day out to have scaled our agency to over 200 million a year. So check it out again, tracker.johnwetmore.com, and hope it helps you.
Yeah, so that's kind of always the setup for me. And then out from there, it doesn't change ever. You know, reset again if you want, fine. But, you know, second then, I don't fire them. I don't make them get out. But I've learned if I do it the right way and I set the right expectations, if you have a big group that's not doing a lot and they're not complaining and moaning, I ain't mad at that. Have 100 people doing 400K a month and you get no one bitching, home run. 400K, 100 people, and they're all bitching all day long, you're doing something wrong, right? It's expectations. That's all it is. You know, so things like this help me kind of weed out the expectations, make it really clear, and then early in my career, for the first several years of my career, most people that quit because of me somehow. I didn't give them the support. I didn't help them with the thing. I didn't have the right training. I was mean to them. Whatever their thing was, their thought process was, I did something wrong, so we're quitting. When I got really good at this piece, everyone it changed to, this ain't for me, I can't handle it, I'm out. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. I just didn't want it to be my fault anymore. You know, so that's kind of like the how-to, if you will. Go ahead, bud.
Did you get the people in your downline who were also hiring to buy into that same mentality so that like it was just uniform across the board?
Yeah. I mean, that's for me to work with you. You've got to buy into that stuff. you know. And certainly there's small variations to all of this in personality and style, and you know what I mean? Meaning if someone, we have plenty of groups that use dialers and all kinds of systems and shit and they kill it. Fucking keep doing it. I don't do it that way. I don't know how to do it that way. And I'm convinced it doesn't work as good. But if people got to figure it out, I'm not mad. But the concept of, I like what's duplicatable. I'm always trying to figure out what's most duplicatable in everything I do. You know? Okay.
I have a question. I have a two-part question.
Yeah.
One, because I think he sees that I get stuck in these coaching conversations from recruiting, from BD, and like I just had a text message thread of somebody that's like, I have a lead budget of $100.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't recruit them, so then I'm always like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how did I get here? Because how did you get here? So how did you get here?
Yeah.
And like instilling, is that just, do you have a like leadership call with your leaders and constantly just driving that point in all the time with them? Or
So
I do, especially with my people that are newer to building.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I find that are like,
they skip all these
they're like,
steps.
they
Yeah.
can pulse, they can work with us.
Yes. I mean, I've done stuff like these guys are in my direct. They just keep coming to these, and then we meet a lot throughout, and then I talk about this stuff a lot on our calls. One of my favorite ways that I handle situations like that is I will get that person. Do you do a team call? Mm-hmm. I would get that person on a team call and do what you want to do with everyone in your group watching. That's how I always did it. When I was newer to building, I had 2 calls a week that were like expectation calls. I did a team call, but I did very specific new agent. I forget what we called it, but in my head it was our expectations call. Yeah, some kind of new agent, get started quick call, whatever the hell we called it. I did them on Mondays and Thursdays because those were the days we were in the office that I had. I wasn't in the field selling. You can do, the days don't matter. But anybody that was recruiting, they would send their new people there and they would listen on. So I could do all this little stuff with the new agents. I could set all the expectations that I know they didn't set on the interview because they probably got interviewed, right? And had to pitch why they should work with them, right? It's in reverse typically. Why should I work with Symmetry? You know what I'm saying? And they spend their whole time throwing up on them about all the amazing things about Symmetry and they know nothing about their agent. That's usually how it goes. So I ain't mad at that. Cool, they're bringing people in the door. So I like that people are recruiting for me. You know what I mean? Fucking free recruiter, I don't gotta pay. Amen. Bring them to the table. I'll do the training. Yeah, and so I did the new agent deal. We have still to this day, he runs it a lot of the times. It's Thursday nights. We have an agent mentor program, we call it, because people like those. When I named it, it became a thing. That was one of the best things I did, was do the same thing I do every day, but give it a name. You give it a name. Mine was Agent Mentor Program. Everyone was like, I want to be part of the Agent Mentor Program. What is it? The exact same shit I've been doing the entire time. Now I just fucking named it. Everyone loved it when I named it. It was the weirdest psychology ever. But I would run Mondays and Thursdays, and anyone that was brand new or coming in or getting in class, anyone was hiring, they'd jump on there. Hey guys, John, just going to appreciate you guys coming in. I just want to cover what it's like for a new agent, blah, 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 blah. Any questions? And I would do a Q&A. Q&As are very difficult to host. So you got to know your shit because they can go sideways in a second. But I got really good at them. Well, my team was bad at them because they would just go off into the wildness. And so I would run those twice a week, and then my guys would let me hear it. And then one of the other things I did a lot is if Giovanni was having trouble with Kyla and needed help, and we still do this, I'll get on the phone with her and he just gets on and listens. Now we do it in Zoom. I used to do it on 3-way calls a lot. And then I would record them and then I would send it so he could listen and train on it and study it. I've done 9 million of those in my career, where I take the downline that needs the help. I go, yo, jump on with me. I coach her. He gets to listen to how I do it. That's the teaching him to teach someone thing, you know? And then I figure out, and now what I do with him is I go like, all right, what'd you do? I said this, I yelled at her and did this. You know what I mean? And we go through all the things and I'm like, well, how'd that work? You know, not so good. All right, here's how you articulate what you meant to say. Now you can, what's funny is a lot of times the thing we say up front is not wrong. Just like earlier with your thing about the leads, that wasn't wrong. You just said it at the wrong time. Right? So a lot of times we have to get them to discover the thing we want them to discover, and then we can pile on top what we want to say. So I'm like, I ain't mad at what you said, yelling at her. You just shouldn't have yelled at her yet. You know what I mean? Like, let her understand what you're trying to articulate. So me doing it that way, again, I love it in group settings, because now I can have you've got 100 people, maybe you get 40, 50, 60 on a call or whatever it is. You help this one person in front of 60 people. Oh, dude, it's fucking life-changing for most of them. Yeah, it's crazy what it does.
You've now stepped multiple questions.
Yeah.
Agent mentor program, that was your new agent like activation, or that was like a specific, like you could come be in this agent mentor program if you did X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, it was a thing that it was just a separate call we did. It's a Thursday night call. We let anybody in it. You know, they'll be honest, when I was newer, we would have like requirements to be in it. They weren't hard. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, we made them up. Just whatever the fuck you want. If you gotta buy lead, you gotta be in lead. You know what I mean? You could literally make the shit up. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't remember what it was. Now we're pretty flexible about it. If you just want to get in, you get in. But now if people want help and they aren't getting on that, I'm like, I'm not sure what you mean, but you don't show up for the new agent. And in today's world, they're all recorded. You can go back and watch all of them. You know what I mean? There's no excuse to not watch them. So if someone isn't consuming the stuff we put out, I don't help them at all one-on-one. Zero will I help them. And I tell them upfront, I'm not trying to be mean, but if you don't get in the trainings and learn this thing on your own time and study it and work on your craft, I'm not helping you. It's just, that's not my role. You know, my role is to point you in the right direction and provide resources and give you the ability to have your education. My job isn't to get you out of bed and do your job for you. You know, so yeah, I like the idea of an agent mentor program. If you want requirements, fine, but you know, I think that it's not as important. But I like the new agent expectation thing, and you can merge them into one. You could just agent mentor program twice a week, call it the same thing. Mine developed over time. The agent mentor program came later. The way that came about is, funny enough, when you start looking at like your group and see who sold what every month, we would take all the agents, Oh, I thought that was you. Where it first started is we would look at, because I always tracked all my issue paid and stuff, and I would compare it to the month before. And so like week 1 of April, I would compare to week 1 of March. Week 2 of April, I compare to week 2 of March. And I could compare where you're tracking. I didn't just compare at the end of the month. And so what we started noticing is how many people write in March and then do nothing in April, right? So they wrote last month, not this month. So we started contacting them, and I had Amanda, this is the evolution of the Agent Mentor Program. And now a shitload of people at FFL run it. This was in probably 17 or 18 we did this. I remember going, hey, send an email out. We're going to come up with this Agent Mentor Program. Send an email out and go to everyone that was on the bottom leaderboard or under a certain amount. And we go, hey, Kyla, we know, and it's just a generic email. Hey, Kyla, we noticed your issue paid last month was X, and it would insert the number. My assumption is you're not happy with where you're at production-wise. Hey, I'm starting this new Agent Mentor Program to help people get their volume up. Would you be interested in joining? Dude, it was like I unearthed the most amazing thing on earth ever. You know what I mean? And then it was, people were like, what is it? I'm like, it's the training call I do every Thursday that you don't get on now. In my head, you know what I mean? It was just like, it literally was nothing different than what I do, other than tell them they were in it. And I'm like, okay, well, to be in it, you need to show up every week and be on the team call. You know what I mean? I made up some fake requirements, and I'd kick people out if they didn't want to because I was stubborn at the time. And, you know, it got people on, and we blew up, you know, and that the ability for me to get on and on that, the expectation call that I did taught, at the very least, the people that were bringing people in, I taught them how to weed out the things we were looking for. So then I could do it, and based on the Q&A, I could tell what was covered and what wasn't. So she starts asking questions about like, how do leads work? I go to Giovanni after, and I'm like, bro, like, how did you miss that? You know what I mean? Hey man, I noticed everybody's going to people's houses, but I don't have a car. How do I'd be like, bro, you didn't find out she didn't have a car? You know what I mean? Like, I remember those days though too. Or the person that has to go to the library every Tuesday to print leads. Like, for those of you that have been doing this long enough, it used to be a problem. I'm like, holy moly. So I would teach not only the agent what their issue's doing, and all the other agents that were afraid to speak. And I'd credit her for asking the question, because most people don't ask any questions. So I give her props for asking questions. Hey, I go, do I have the ability to be truthful and direct to you? Because I am. Yes, you do. Cool. Then all the other new agents that have the same question hear it. Then all the managers see how I did it. And they'll be like, damn, I tried to do that, and she didn't listen at all. I'm like, okay, well, let's work on the way you did it. How did you say it? Just like I did with you earlier. And then I start, so now I can work on that, I can work on the group, and I can work on his delivery of it all. You know, and all that sort of happens simultaneously.
I think I get in a brain block because I grew up in grew up in the insurance world. When I say grew up, I grew up in a builder culture, so my
In
head-
insurance,
in insurance,
not in your life.
not my life.
Okay, got it. Yep.
I grew up in the builders, so like I learned everything on my own.
Yep.
And so I get into that frustrating. Am I instilling like an agent mentorship? Am I instilling trainings just for people to live in training land?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
a constant
It can be.
battle.
Yep.
It's a constant battle between winners will win, but you still have to give them
You do.
the resources.
Yep.
And then I also just have the ring block.
Yeah. 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 I liked when I did it. It was only new people on that expectation call.
What was your cutoff for? Well, new expectation.
Yeah, I mean, once they're in the field, you don't need to be on that anymore. It was like for brand new people coming in, getting them into class. Yeah, once, maybe twice. Yep, it was only for newbies. And that's hard to do unless you get a bunch of people recruiting, you know. And I would usually have 8, 10, 12, 15 people on it, something like that. Only new people. And then from there, then they go to the team call. I'm not a big, some of these people do trainings every day. I hate those. No offense if you do it. I think they're dumb. I don't think people need to train that often. My training is let's get on the phone. Let's call people. That's how we train. So I'm way more of a fan of that than every morning I train my team at 8 a.m. for 2 hours. And I know some of the people over there that do it. There's people that just have 50. I did coaching for this chick at that Lasting Mark, and between her and her upline, they had 23 trainings a week. I was like, huh?
You'd be surprised, yeah. Yes, there are.
Nope. I did a team call once a week. I did a builder's call once a week. And then we had the agent mentor program. But it was, again, the program too wasn't just calls. It was like, let's work on leads this week. Let's work on close this week. You know what I mean? But it was only for newbies. And then again, managers could listen. But I'm a big fan of literally a team call and a builder's call. Something separate, a little higher level.
Yeah.
I merged them kind of in one today. And then you can tweak things as what feels good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Try some things out. And
Things don't have to be perfect.
yeah. We've changed the way we've done it 1,500 times over the years based on where I am in the business. You know, when something gets old and it feels like I'm just talking to talk, dude, I'm over it. I will cancel a call in a second. I want less calls, not more. You know, I'm like, let's go live. Let's do it for real. And let's tweak some real life problems, because they will attend training. They will get their ass on training and they will not fucking pick up the phone. It's crazy. Everyone makes it's weird. They can't, everything gets in the way of making phone calls. Nothing gets in the way of the training calls. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's my bottleneck. I have a field of horses, right? I
Yeah.
just don't have any like breeding
Yep.
horses in there, but like
Yep.
our recruiting funnel is like we do not struggle with recruiting.
Yeah.
But I want that slight little tweak to.
Yeah. If I were in your shoes, based on what I'm hearing, I'd have called a fast start, you know what I mean? Something like that. For me, it's expectations. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. Call it what you want. That entices people like, I need to be on this to get started quick. You know, ours was AMP for Agent Mentor Program was one stage, but I literally at mine time, I think we called it the expectations call. I don't even know. Remember back in the day? I don't know if they have a different name. Or was that just what I called it? I don't even remember. It might have been a new agent orientation at one point or something. Was that it? Yeah. Yeah.
I call it my new agent activation, but
Yeah, I love it.
definitely see where my language needs to be tweaked.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, it's like, what do we want to accomplish? I want them to start fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if John Wetmore's doing it, it's probably going to be some kind of new agent quick start program or something, you know what I mean? Something corny.
Okay.
And that's what I want to explain is ultimately all the things that people mess up. And it's going to be a very repetitive call for you every week. You're going to be saying the same thing every week. The open Q&A was my favorite part though. I love doing Q&As. I fucking kill it.
Office hours, and so it's an hour Q&A. I'm like, I will sit here on the Zoom, pop
Yep.
it if you have a question. It's my favorite.
Yeah, yep. And just push people there.
Yeah.
So if people have questions throughout the week, it's like, hey, good question. Why weren't you on the hour call asking that? Hey, good question. Hey, fucking great question. Hey, do me a favor, because I know it's not urgent. Do you mind just getting on the call tomorrow and asking that question on there? Because that'll help other people. That's how I do it a lot.
Okay.
And since I know it's not urgent,
Yeah.
do you mind?
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? That worked really
There are
well.
emergencies there.
Yeah, yep. So I got a lot of people that's how I get people to ask questions on calls, because the most won't. Hey, great question. Do you mind asking that on a call once in a while? It'll help a bunch of other people, man. Do you mind?
And for your expectations of when, because obviously you have your newer agents are going to do these leads, right? So
Potentially, not always. I mean,
not all of them Well, like your expectations for getting that 50 to 75 leads, are you having them have one state, multiple states?
Yeah, multiple. Yeah, and honestly, 50 is the low end. That's me. I'm fucking part-time getting that many. Honestly, if I'm getting someone full-time, 100, 150 a week. If you want real money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be 40, 50, 60K producer, 100, 150 a week. 100 on the low end. 150 will make it easy. 150 will make it easy.
Changed my life.
Yeah, good. Yeah, yeah. 50 to 75 is definitely part-time. You don't have enough people to call. You just don't have the people because you don't have the ability to work full-time with 50 leads. You can if you wanted to. Yeah, it doesn't.
You're twiddling your thumb.
Yeah, it gives you no shot at doing this full-time. You will not hit 40 hours prospecting and presenting with 50 leads. You can't do it. You know? So I'm like, all right, if you get 50 leads, cool. I ain't mad at you, but you're not full-time. Says your hours. And I do this for a living, so I know you can't call them that much. And even if you do, your pickup rate's only going to go down to 2% if you just keep calling the same 50 people all week. No one's going to answer. You know? So for me, 100 on the low end, or you're not full-time, literally you can't be. 150 if you want it to be easy. You know? And this going to take some money. From $2,500 a week, probably. But I can talk about how to get people there mentally. We might do a little bit more of that. Well, I don't care how we go, but you know that takes time too. Who did I tell to remind me? Oh, I'm doing our guys' team call. Remind me that tomorrow to do that. Getting people to spend where people get on their head. How you spend 10 grand a month, 8 grand a month. Like remind me to cover that tomorrow, specifically because I have a way I do. I'll go completely sideways if I do it now. So yeah, I think for me the expectations are, and again, fine if you need to start with $200, but that's not real life. I mean, what are we talking about? You know, so if we got to start there, fine. What's the path to there? More importantly, what do people do wrong? They think $200 a week for the rest of the time is going to work different. You're going to just read the right script and hear the right video and watch John Wetmore on YouTube, and suddenly you can make $2 grand turn into a fucking 400K producer, or $200 a week turn into a. It's not going to happen. Yeah.
That's not
No, correct.
How much cash value?
So I want to teach, same as I go dial 8 to 12, here's how many calls, here's some blah, 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 do this, do that. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, there needs to be some kind of progression in lead flow. Week 1, and again, I want people to preferably have some money. Front load it preferably. If you can't front load it, again, I'm not a big proponent of hiring people who have no job and no money. I almost have zero respect for the person, so it's going to be hard to even work with them. I'm like, you have no money and no. Now, if you got laid off yesterday, I get circumstances. But a dude who's a bum who's been sitting around for months, I'm not messing with that guy at all. Yeah, stop. Yes, trust me, dude. Dude, I had a guy reach out to me. He'll probably apologize if you watch the video because I know you watch all my stuff, and so I won't say your name. But he reached out to me a couple months ago. You'll know who I mean, Amanda, in a second because I think he's not done anything. He goes, hey man, I've been a while. I worked with you in 2019, 2018. He's like, I'm ready again, and I'm like, who? And he said the name, and it rang a bell, and I'm like, who's this dude? And she kind of half remembered, and I'm like, it's been 6 years, dude. I said, what have you been doing? Went to school, 56 years old. And I'm like, what's changed, bro? Because I remember last time you didn't do shit. He's like, I'm ready now. Oh, and he blew up fucking Amanda to do all his contracting and get it done quick. And that fool didn't sell one app, and he's not done anything in the last month. And I'm like, the people are crazy. Now, he doesn't bother us, and for me, I tell people now, if you ain't interested in writing 10 grand a week, I'm not interested in working with you. If you don't want to get to a point where you're writing 10 grand a week, I just can't work with you one-on-one. I will lose patience. I'm not good at it anymore. It is what it is, and you don't have to do that day one. You have to do it out the rip. But if that's not a goal of yours, I'm gonna get bored.
If you're in the insurance space and trying to build an agency, or you're trying to like break records in sales, just hit new levels, new heights, click the link below to apply to my consulting and coaching program that I have out there. I'm helping tons of people get to new levels, get to new income heights, help them build their teams, put systems in place, staffing stuff, recruiting processes, automations, and just teaching people how to get to a point where they're selling on their own pen, 30, 40, 50 grand a month. And if they're building a team, teaching how to have an effective structure to your insurance agency for the most profitability you can. There is an application process. I'm only looking to work with like high-end people who really want to make big things happen. If you're interested, click the link, apply, and if you're a fit, I'll reach out.
So I think the setting expectations part is really important, especially on the phones and what it looks like and how to map out that lead plan for people. And it can take time. I mean, Kyla, we've been working on it for a few months for her to get there, and she's like so close. It's just like right there. And then she sometimes gets in her head and backs away a little bit, and then she knows she does. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not an easy one-time conversation, you know, and people watch me do it and they still have a hard time pulling the trigger, you know, and it's just the psychology of it's crazy on getting people to continue to reinvest. And they think like, oh man, I need more money. Let me get less leads. I'm like, wait, what? You're struggling with money, so you need what? Like that somehow people convince themselves that that's the move. And I'm like, if you understood do you know how easy this game is when you get 100 or 150 leads a week? Oh my God, this is one of the easiest games ever. You know, it's just so easy to make money. There's just like, it's so easy to find. Again, we 10 apps a week out of 150 people. You don't think you can find 6 to 12 that just say, yeah, I need insurance, bruh? I mean, watch my content. I'm not fighting people with objections all day long. Yes. You know?
I'm here to help you. Next, move on.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, can I push some? Yes. Can I prevent some objections? Yes. Am I going to do kinda? But dude, I get through a presentation and I show pricing, they gave me their social and they picked a price, and then it's time to give banking and they ain't giving it. Dude, I probably hang up on them. I'm out. I'm not fighting you that hard. You know, I'll push once, but after that, I'm done. I'm moving on to the next. I'm finding the next one that's like just yes. You know, and it takes time to get to that point for sure. It's hard to do. It's hard to teach. It takes a while for an agent to understand how to play that game, but I can teach it. You know, and I want people pushing early because they don't know when to push and when not to. So I have to teach people to push and get really uncomfortable early in their career. But dude, Clint's on the phone with someone for 23 minutes and he starts getting to think about it. I promise you, he ain't going to beg them to buy insurance for 15 minutes and fight the I want to think about it with 17 different analogies. He's just not going to do it. He's making $500-600 grand a year. Like, you know, a quick little push. We know so well we missed something early. They're like, well, and sometimes we feel it coming. I'll take a coin flip sale. Do you know how many times I show out pricing and I'm like, well, if they give me their social and so those that don't know, I don't give out pricing until I have an approval. I do it very different than most people. It is catching on though, because it works really good. But again, if I get that at the end, I sometimes along the way I can feel it, but also some people you can't push too much for a why. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they don't, I'm not going down the road. You start pushing me for a why, I'm gonna tell you to F off. You know, and some people, they'll give it openly, some don't. So sometimes I get to the approval and I'm like, well, I don't know if these ones are buying or not. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give it a shot. And you throw out the pricing and they're like, I gotta think about it. I'm like, fuck, missed that one. All right, bro, let me know. You know, and sometimes that's the play. You know? Now again, if you're writing 2 apps a week, you can't play that. You just can't play that game. Yeah, you don't have that option. You know? So it is what it is. So
Are you gonna go into giving pricing after?
yeah, we're gonna go through that right now. Yeah, we'll go through this right now. So if you go through,
We'll keep picking your brain all day long. I have no problem. So
no, yeah, you're good. Yeah, I like it. I prefer it.
I will ask you to cut me off at any time. I will keep on going.
That's how I am in meetings too. I don't care. I just go. This is the same concept of you asking a question, me helping you. It's going to help all them because they're all too scared to ask. Like, it's just, who cares? Yeah. So yeah, I think if we go through the structure of this thing, and again, I don't think the lead type matters. So 24, 25. And what you can do is, again, you can do this now, you can do it later, but if you want to kind of take notes on things that you see differently or feel, or what you're trying to accomplish based on all this stuff, you don't have to necessarily fill it in now. I mean, you can literally steal my stuff verbatim, but if you want to make it apply, and it's going to be slightly different in a mortgage protection, slightly different in IUL, slightly different in an annuity sale or health sale, a Medicare sale, but the concepts are going to hold true on most of the steps from me. And so I think if I start looking at the phone call, number one is, I know I have to differentiate myself, right? I know they took a risk picking up a phone call, for sure, in their head. They're most likely like, who the fuck is this? They certainly aren't like, hope this is the insurance guy. I know that's not going through most of their mind. Every once in a blue moon, you get some goat leads, it's weird. They see your number because they just saw it on the screen. They'll be like, hey, John. It's the fucking wildest thing. You don't get many, but a couple of weeks, like, know who you are when you're calling.
Or I've been waiting for you.
Yeah. Yes. My whole life. Yeah. It's rare, but it does happen every once in a while. The overwhelming majority of phone calls, they don't know who you are. They're not going to know who you are. They're definitely not going to associate you with the moment that they filled out the thing. Bridging that gap is the most difficult piece for agents, is for you to stand out from every other dipshit that calls them all day long, just like you get calls all day. I can't imagine we don't all get calls all day long. I get littered with spam calls, right? These old folks, especially if you're in the final expense world, even the mortgage world, because everything's public data, they get whacked with phone calls. So you've got to do something, in my mind, to stand out from everybody else. And weird enough, every telemarketer leaves you a 6-minute voicemail. So I don't do any of those. I think they're stupid. I think voicemails waste time completely. The amount of time you could spend leaving a voicemail, you could call 2 other people. It was like, what's the point? Those add up. You leave 25 voicemails today. I'm like, you could have got fucking significantly more phone calls in. You know, and how many of the voicemails call you back? It's exactly 0. It's exactly 0. Yes. So why do people keep leaving them? I never understand it. 0 will call you back. You know? Hey, this is John. I got your lead and your hobby. It just doesn't work. I even do it on there sometimes to show people. It doesn't work ever. You know, the only thing that's ever worked in my career is like, hey, John, call me back. Back in the day with direct mail, sometimes we could get them to call back. And again, if it works sometimes, I don't know, it doesn't work enough to make it worth it ever. So I just say, do it never. And again, over time, you can just get in more phone calls. Some people like to text people and go, Steve, because they think when they call them, it's going to say maybe Steve on it. I think it's wasting time texting 1,400 people 1,400 times a week, so you get one guy that shows up John instead of spam. I also think is a complete and total waste of fucking time. So I'm just like a call people.
Say that again one more time.
Some people like to text the lead before they call them. Okay. Because if I send you a text right now and I go, hey, it's John, call blah, blah. When I call you, Apple will say, maybe John. Somehow people have convinced themselves that magically makes them know you're the insurance guy that they want to answer. I think it's such a waste of time, the amount of messages you have to send relative to how many more people you could call. You know, I just think if we raced and I said, you send text messages all day, I make phone calls all day, and then you call them when you're done texting them so they all say, maybe John, let's see who sells more insurance. I'm not confused I'm going to win. I'm not confused. I don't need it to say maybe John because a shitload of people pick up when it says spam.
So you don't give I'm so used to not cussing in a public setting. I'm a sailor at home. You don't give a shit if it says spam.
No.
You'll see people that are like, oh, like that's just their like go-to of I'm not being successful because my number is marked as spam.
Mine is too.
Fucking mine is. All 3 of mine are too.
Now, do I do something to try?
I am fine with my number marked as spam.
Yeah. Again, I go, but though, if we go back to why are you worried about your number being marked as spam? Because my result, they don't pick up. No. If you made 10 grand this week, would you care if your number was marked as spam?
No.
Okay, so the real reason is what?
My mindset.
You don't make enough money.
Yeah.
That's why you're worried about it. If you made 10, I mean, if I paid you 10 grand salary and said, call them, it says spam, would you care that it said spam now?
No, I've been calling all day.
Oh, imagine that. You know what I mean? It's like, it always goes back. And then I can go, okay, let's pretend you are spam, fine. You don't know how to get it. How many phone calls do you make? It's always going to be a low number. There's no one that's making 40 hours of phone calls a week that's worried about spam. The only ones that are worried about spam are low end.
Because my number is marked as spam. They're not picking up and I'm not having conversations.
I make 10 grand and my number's spam. So it works. I'm spam too. I have Apple too. I call the same people you call. Mine's spam. I have a 6% pickup rate. Your bitch and yours is 9, mine's 6. I'm playing the same game. And again, I will stand by. John Wetmore has no advantage dialing. None. They don't know who I am. They don't see my YouTube. They aren't waiting for me to call. They aren't excited to buy insurance from me. I have zero advantages making phone calls.
Same number across all the states.
Yes, I use my cell phone. I don't use a spoofer. I don't use a change the number thing. I use my cell phone. I have Sideline on my phone.
What's that?
It's an app. It gives you a separate phone number. I use it maybe, bro, if I make 10 phone.
All you guys are in the same company and you're like, oh, you should know.
Yeah, it's Sideline. Yeah.
When you're in like a different world, like people just know different things.
Yeah,
right?
Sideline is just an app. It gives you a separate phone number. Most people are going to overthink it, so I don't share it often, but people just figure it out. If I'm blocked, well, one, you can star 67 and call, and it will go through blocked numbers, but it shows up as unknown. I'll use Sideline to see if I'm blocked sometimes.
Sideline?
Yeah, Sideline app. Yeah, it's like $20, $10. I don't know what it costs. It costs nothing.
Sitting on the sidelines in a football game and get you right.
Yeah, that's the word, yes. But yep.
That's what makes
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yes, there's another bad analogy I could use. Sideline. I think it's made for something else though. The sideline for the side chick or something. I don't know. It's a separate number.
Because no matter what, even if you're marked as spam, if you're actually working your leads appropriately, then if you're calling them 15 times a
Yeah,
day,
and to be honest, carrier to carrier it's different.
yeah.
So I can, if I call someone with Verizon, it could be spam, and I could call someone AT&T and it's not spam. Or if I call someone with Ohio phone company, it's, you know what I mean? It's going to vary company. And again, there is a way you can go on and you can register with the different, and we have a thing in our Discord where you can go in and do it. I mean, it helps this. I still have a 6% pickup rate after doing it.
Do you call all 50 states with your number?
Yes. I call any number always with my cell phone. Yep. I don't worry about different numbers ever. I just don't care. You know? Yeah, everyone has. And dude, you move, like how many people in here, you know, everyone you know has only a phone number from your local code. Like everybody has old phone numbers from different states. It's so normal now to, again, for me, that's always the excuse that they've sold themselves as to what, so you're really good at sales. You've sold yourself so hard that you think showing up as, you're the only human that shows up as spam in the industry. And think that's the reason you think the rest of us don't show up as spam? This is why you think I call magic leads, my number doesn't show up as, do you really believe that? And you'll have the people selling insurance there too. You think somehow theirs doesn't? Oh, it's the dialer system on the guy that advertises that your number won't show up as spam. You don't think the companies figure that shit out too? Both sides are fighting each other. This guy's fighting to not show up as spam. This guy's fighting to show him up as spam. That's going to be a forever fight. You know what I mean? So for me, like, we're all going to deal with it forever. Just what it is. But I can always go back to, are you doing 40 hours of prospecting and presenting? I bet not. I got your spam. You did 12 hours this week on the phone. Not to be mean, I have no sympathy. I just don't. You know?
So some people really like those, they buy those numbers. I'll say I'm one of them because it has the local presence, right? And that's probably in my own.
100%.
I only pick up the phone call if it's in Georgia. If
Yeah.
it's from somewhere else, I don't pick it up.
I'll do 20 times in a row.
Wait, what y'all say?
I called you 20 times in a row. Something about
You'll pick it up.
To me, it blows my mind. Like, how
I don't
did you
know,
just get called 9
I
times
actually
in a
don't
row?
get that many spam calls,
Yeah.
so I probably did.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest mistake is you thinking like you versus a lead.
Right, I think like I need a local presence to pick up, perhaps the lead would not.
I also don't believe you when you say you will only pick up a local number.
Okay,
But that's who I am.
okay, but that's
Yeah.
actually.
I think I could get you to pick up.
Write down the number and leave it.
Yeah. If you, I was gonna look her number up and get it for you, and we were gonna do it later. She will answer the phone.
I have no reason to lie to you.
No.
If I only pick up local numbers, why would I lie to you about that?
Okay.
If it says Georgia, I'm probably gonna pick up most of the time, but if it's.
We got you.
somewhere else, I'm like,
You got it, Amanda? One day. Hey, this is on video, right?
Andy's gonna sell her insurance.
but you have a phone number.
I know people.
You keep texting me. Hi, Rochelle, this is John.
We'll see. You're gonna be on my YouTube one day. 100%. 100%. It's gonna be fun.
So the local presence thing, sorry, back to that, the video reshuffle, that's really just in my head, and I just need to remove that.
I just know I don't do it. I don't care, and I sell 50 grand a month.
And I do not.
Exactly.
I probably care too much.
It's probably something else.
Yeah.
And I bet if I go down and look at your numbers, do you spend 40 hours prospecting and presenting?
No.
Okay, then the local, let's.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Correct. Yeah, my point is like, why are we worried about what's not working when the main thing is not even working? You know what I mean? Like the main thing isn't there. Why are we trying to fix all the pieces? You know what I mean? We're trying to put light bulbs in a house and we don't have a foundation yet. Like, dude, that don't matter. Light bulbs don't matter.
There's no electricity.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like it is. What are we talking about right now? Let's get the core foundation of this business down first. That will drive away 90% of your problems. When we get the core down and you go, I'm selling 50K a month. You think if I had some local presence, I could sell 60? Probably. Then you could convince me. But till you do the 40 hours, I'm not convinced. I just think you have so many other issues that's irrelevant to me. You know what I mean? It's just not a now problem. You know, we've just convinced ourselves that that's the today problem. I'm like, that has nothing to do with anything for me. You know, so I want people going into the whole thing right. If I go, how do I get them to pick up? One, more phone calls. Again, it's call it an 8% pickup rate or 6% pickup rate. That doesn't mean 6% of my leads. That's 6% of phone calls. If you only call your leads once, it's going to be 6% of your leads. If I call my leads 20 times, I'm going to get probably 40% of my leads on the phone. 50% of my leads on the phone. I'm not going to get 80% ever. I don't know how to hit that number. But if I can get in the ballpark of half my leads to pick up at some point over the next week or two, I can do some damage. Give me 150 leads, I talk to 75 people. Bro, I'm selling some fucking insurance. I buy 30 leads, I don't call them enough, I talk to 6 people this week, I'm probably going to go broke. You know what I mean? You talk to 50, 60, 70 people in a week, like, what? Now you can do some work. Now you can start working on scripts. Now you can start working on sales presentations. Now you can start working on some stuff, objections, and otherwise all we're doing is like paperwork and CRM stuff, and you know what I mean? Nothing that has anything to do with anything. You know? So it's like, how do we talk to enough people a week? And the only way to talk to enough people a week is do more prospecting. Again, the alternative is go out into the world and do it cold. I travel a lot. You know how many dang salespeople are in the airport going out to prospect all over the country? I'm like, y'all get to sit in the comfort of your home and just make phone calls. And somehow you think you're going to get rich by getting 10 people on the phone? 15 people on the phone? You know what I mean? It's like when he did the thing last week, just a lot of people said this. I'm like, dude, 16. Yeah, I mean, so I am. But I go, for me, I change it and I go, I don't know, he got 16 people on the phone, you called a lot. I said, if you had $16 in your bank account, would you say 16's a lot then?
No.
Okay, 16 ain't a big number, dude.
I feel like I should get up and start getting to work right now.
Sitting here.
We need to start tonight.
It's part of it. You know, it's a major piece of it.
You're costing me money, John.
I'm gonna make you a shit ton though.
You gotta slow down and speed up. We're slowing down.
100%. That's one of my favorite sayings, actually. Yeah.
And I'll get patients really frustrated, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you gotta,
Yep.
like, we gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, me and Amanda go through that sometimes. She has 17,000 things, and I'm like, no, we got to slow the fuck down. We got to take our time on this thing to build this thing, so then it will later. There's a lot of validity to that, for sure. You know, especially when you're building a foundation for something.
What up, y'all? So YouTube memberships, we have one now. Right next to the subscribe button, there's a neon white join button. You can't miss it. Subscribe, whatever it says, click the link, get in there. I do a ton of coaching, teaching people how to dial, corrections, working on their presentations, working on their mindset. I will coach on theory, but I like coaching real world stuff. And if you join the membership section, you're gonna see live coaching where I'm not only helping people, but every once in a while I get in there and dial myself. There's some cool videos coming out, tons of content.
All of the training videos will be directly on my YouTube channel. That's available to members only. Super easy to find.
So join now if you're interested. Click below. See you in there.
You know, if it's slowing down to call America for the 14th time today, like it's just probably not the time to slow down, but slow down to build infrastructure and do things. So again, if I go to the open, you know, I think again, if I have to differentiate myself a little bit, I know for me what's worked really well is I want to create a little bit of curiosity when they pick up the phone. I don't want to say a lot of words. I think the more words you say when they first pick up, the worse you do. And I know a lot of scripts do it. Hi, I'm John calling for blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't know, dude. The reality is, what I do know is you don't give them the opportunity to say anything. You create no curiosity, and they make some kind of judgment based on the words you're saying. And again, somehow you think because you're saying all these words that you've connected the dots between the time they typed in their name or wrote their name in the thing when they were having some kind of moment when they saw an ad to you saying, I'm the senior underwriter calling from the state license regulated, blah, blah. Somehow you think those dots connect, and they don't. They have no earthly idea that you're the person that called them because they hit submit. They're just in two totally different mindsets. Some ad popped up or some piece of mail came in and they saw something, they went, oh, shit. I've been meaning to do that. Or yeah, my uncle died. Yeah, shit. Let me fill this in. All right, kids got to go to soccer, got to get groceries done, got to get dinner done, got to get the car fixed, got to go to work. My boss is an asshole. Dude, they forget about it in 4 seconds. You call lead fucking 2 minutes after it comes in, sometimes they don't remember doing it. They just a million miles an hour, and we've all done that. You fill something out, you hit the button, you move on with life. You know what I mean? It's like, it's very rare that people just sit down and they're like, all right, submit. All right, come on, buddy. It's just not how it goes, right? So I think for me, the more robotic and new agents struggle with this because, again, they're reading a script. They sound very robotic. They sound just like every other script-driven voicemail. I got 15 of them probably in my inbox now. So anyway, so yeah, for me, I know again, mine is really simple. If I'm calling you, I'm like, hey, Jake, that's how I start my call. I want as little words as possible before you say something. And I want to do it, for me, I've learned if I do it in a way where I'm like, it's like I know who you are, but you aren't, you're like, I want you going like, yeah, I want that. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that curiosity in tone, kind of who the F is this? I don't know who you are, but yeah, you know, sound like you know me. I want that. I don't want to go, hey, is this Jake? I don't like that. Hey, Jake, this is John calling for, I don't like that. I don't want you thinking. I don't want you thinking anything other than, who's this? Why? Because that means now you listen. When I go, hey, Jake, this is John, you tune me out. I want you to agree to listen to me. And by you going, yeah, or yeah, who's this? That's you giving me permission to talk more. Yeah. That's what John's looking for on the phone. You have a question?
He's not on social, so he's never heard you dial or any of your things.
Yeah.
Will you do like a call him?
Yeah, we'll go through the whole thing. I mean, literally, my deal is like, hey, Jake.
Well,
Hold on, let me read it. No. So, and I'll do it in a minute, but I'm going to break it down a little bit first. So, for me, the next thing I like to do is I like to verify something personal about you as fast as possible. Once I get permission to keep talking to you, now I want you to know I got your shit. If I can verify something, it leads me in the direction of you remembering that you filled something out. I've got to get you there. My whole goal is if I can somehow in 30 seconds get you to not hang up on me, give me permission to speak, listen at least a little bit till I can get you to remember I'm calling you about the thing you did, I'm happy. Even if you know I'm calling you about the thing you did and you tell me to F off, at least I get you to remember I'm calling you about the thing you did. You know? So, if I start, and again, you can look at kind of how I break it all down. So a decent amount of time, I honestly ask people how they're doing a lot. A lot of people don't like to do that. They like to jump right into it. You know, I'm calling you about the thing. Sometimes I like to mess with people. Hey, Jake. Yeah. Hey, man, what's up? It's John. How you doing today, bud?
Pretty good.
Most people will fall in. Now, if he answers a little hostile, I might skip that part. Yeah, who's this? I'll probably not ask him how he's doing. But if I feel like, dude, I can tell in the way you say, yeah, I can almost tell by the way you breathe when you answer the phone. Honestly, you make enough phone calls, I can tell the personality, right? You can hear the breath come, you can just hear it. So I adapt a little bit based on what? Not the piece of paper, what I'm trying to accomplish. I want him to listen. And the guy who's hostile doesn't give a shit how I'm doing or how he doesn't want, I skip that part. But if I like to call people in the South. I like to call old ladies that are from fucking Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana. I'm doing great, honey. How are you? Dude, I'm selling that lady some insurance. You know? So I'm hunting for stuff. I'm hunting for someone in a good mood with a good personality. If I got to break down an asshole, I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I just got to do a little bit different work. Remember, I'm hunting for easy sales. So my strategy is very intentional. Going, hey man, John, getting back to you. John, getting back to you. Now, what do I want them thinking? Getting back to me about what? Why? I need to remember the piece of paper I filled out, the form I filled out. I want them thinking, getting back to me. What the hell is this fool getting back? What did I do? I want that in their head, psychologically. It's not really that deep. They don't get to sit down and think about it, but I know that's happening. You know? Hey man, John, getting back to you, dude. How you doing, bro? Most of them like, doing good. How are you? Doing good. Getting back to me about what? What's that do? More permission to talk. That's it. Hey man, just getting back to you about that request you sent in. You put down your beneficiary as Susan, and you put down your favorite hobby as fishing. Date of birth, 3/28/77. That you, bro? Yep, that's me. They don't hang up on me now. I'm really close to in. There's a couple that'll be like, well, yeah, that's me, but what is it? Every once in a while.
I didn't do that, correct?
Yeah, me, which, some, I still get it. I actually bet I get it more than you do.
Yeah, you make more phone calls.
100%. You're catching on. You're catching on. Yeah. So I can verify some stuff. I drop details that every other telemarketer can't. I ain't said nothing about insurance, benefit center, underwriter, state licensed. I don't say none of those words. I don't like them. They're just noise. They're wasted words for me, especially given what I'm trying to accomplish. I just want them to listen. That's it. And they don't care that I'm state licensed. Like, what is that? What, like, who is calling me? They're like, the state licensed what? And I get people do it because they're trying to build credibility. I'm not trying to build credibility yet. It's too early for me to build credibility. They don't know who I am. Why am I trying to build credibility? You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's too much too soon. Now, some people kill it doing it. Keep doing it. If it's working for you, don't change it. I don't like it. And I found it's really hard to teach new agents because they mess it up. They think the state license, this, that, the other thing is more important than it is. I've messed with people and I've gone like, hey, watch this. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, Jake? Yeah, hey, this is John getting back to you. How are you today, man? Hey, I'm doing good. Hey, dude, I'm sitting over here with Mickey Mouse, and we were just looking at your paperwork. You put down your favorite hobby is fishing. Your date of birth is 3/28/77. That you? They'll say yes. They won't say shit about Mickey Mouse. I've done it on the phone to make people, none of it matters.
They're not really listening anyway.
I'm dropping information. It's, you know what I mean? The psychology of it's wild. And so again, for me, I will build credibility at some point. It's not now. You know, that to me, it doesn't hold as much weight as me going, I'm getting back to you about this thing that you want. And I need to make that connection. That's all I'm trying to do. You know, and I don't think all the other fancy words matter. They don't go, oh, thank God you're state regulated. I've been waiting for that one. Like,
Carney about the last calls.
The deal breaker.
Thank God. The last guy I told to F off wasn't. I won't tell you to F off because you are. It just, I don't know. So once they verify, if they say yes, and I'm just like, hey man, I'm the guy they put in charge of getting all the information to you. It's about that life insurance you wanted. Some variation of that, I say. If it's a vet, hey, I'm the guy they put in charge of getting you the information on the life insurance you wanted for veterans. You know what I mean? Just looking for affirmation then. Basically, hey, you looking to buy insurance? That's my next statement. I'm the guy they put in charge of helping you to get the insurance you want. I'm just the guy they put in charge. I'm just the guy they put in charge of getting back. I'm just getting back to you. I'm the guy they put in charge of helping you out with that life insurance. Look like Susan, the beneficiary. They go, yep. Okay. Hey, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? That's usually how I wrap it in. I'm the guy getting back to you, help you out with the life insurance. You mind if I ask you a couple quick questions so I can see if I can help you out with this thing? It's usually some variation of that. So, hey, John. Yeah. John, getting back to you. How you doing today? Doing good. Hey, date of birth, hobby, beneficiary. Yep. Hey, guy I put in charge of you. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? See if you're eligible? Yep. I got 3 yeses in 30 seconds. Confirmation that they know who I am. Yes, they can proceed. Dude, I'm probably presenting to that guy. I'm probably presenting to that one. I get that far, I'm in. You know, there I know. I don't know that I'm making a sale yet, but I'm probably presenting to that guy. If I go, hey, do you mind if I ask you a few questions so I can see if I can help you out with this thing? Dude, I'm having a 5-minute, 10-minute conversation all day long with that guy. I don't get hung up. I get that in and they say yes, I don't get hung up on anymore. Never. 1 in a million. You know what I mean? Some asshole every once in a blue moon. But I get the yes after, do you mind if I ask you a couple quick questions, see if I can help you with this thing? I do not get hung up on after that. Takes me under 30 seconds typically to get there. Definitely under a minute. 30 seconds, 45 seconds, somewhere in that range to get those few things out. Yeah, yup. They ain't saying much. Doing great, how are you? That's the longest thing they get to say. On that, it's, yeah, who's this? Yup, yup. They get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words out. Mine are as small as possible because I'm trying to get those answers the way I want them, the cadence I want.
Yeah. You never end on anything but a question.
Yes, I'm always ending on a question. Glad you noticed that. I usually give a little bit of information, ask a question. Little info, ask a question. Little info, ask a question. Yep. And psychologically, they'll tend to answer the question. Yep. I'm just the guy they put in charge, man. I'm not a state licensed, nothing. I'm just the guy they put in charge. You know what I mean? Mind if I ask you a few questions? Yep. That's my open, dude. Now we're in business. You know what I mean? Come in the door. You know? And that makes everything else from there easier. You know? And then depending on my feel for it, kind of how I feel next, what I'm really trying to do is like ultimately accomplish, like, why'd they fill this thing out now? Like, what triggered it for me? It's kind of what I'm looking for next. Some people get into the deep why. I ain't quite there yet. Sometimes, now these 2 next phases, like the reason and the why, sometimes they overlap a little bit. Sometimes when I'm trying to find the reason, they give me the why. You know what I mean? Sometimes the 2 and 3 for me really blend together. And I don't go in an exact order every time. You know, it's again, it depends on the person. You know, but I tend to start with, more often than not, I go, hey, Jake, do you have any life insurance in place at all now? Or are we working with nothing at all? That tends to be my first question next. because it can kind of lead down the runway of where the reason you fill this out. Yeah, you either tell me yes or no. I either got none or I got some. All right? Your face made it seem like you were going to tell me no, you got none. Right? Which means you probably don't. I don't know. Do you not really? I'm going to be selling you insurance today too, bro. This is going to be good. We'll do a split.
We got good airbags in the car.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
Signed up for the really good Navy benefit.
I knew that was coming. I was going to say you got that VGLI shit. Yeah.
I did like a SBP post on social. See that people blow up about that.
Yeah. 3:30, 4:30. Cool.
It's when you retire from the military, like he has a pension, right? So if he were to die, I do not get his pension.
You do not.
I can elect to get his pension if I pay a monthly fee every month. However, I would only get that pension if I elect to do it, and I only get 50% of that pension, 55%.
And you have to pay the fee.
And I have to pay the fee.
6%.
If I die first, then the money's just gone.
Yeah.
Seems like a great deal.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't get out with many good benefits.
But you have people that are like, that will die by it, but most of the time, they just can't see that, like, the point of life insurance is not for when you're 75 years old and you want that $2,000 a month. The point of life insurance is tomorrow, but I'm sorry that you did life wrong for 30 years and you didn't save the rest of your money after that. But.
It's true. You're in trouble, bro. So yeah, I think from there it's, now we're starting to get into a conversation. And again, it's like, how do you script this? You know what I mean? Again, I have very intentional, I've learned how to ask the questions in a manner that I want them so I get the answers I want. And then if they say yes or no, I have an angle. Right, I was talking to an agent yesterday, Nick, and he never answered me, but he sent me this long message about he had some client that had a term policy with Primerica or whatever, and it was going up in price, and it was going to continue to go up in price. And did you hear him with this one the other day? I know he probably told everyone. Love you, Nick, but and I said, all right, did you get the pricing that it's going to go to? And he said yes. And then he gave me the pricing, and I said, okay, what was the pricing? And whatever it was $600. They were going to keep the price the same but lower the coverage. And I was like, all right, cool. What's it go up to at some point? And it was something like, I'm going to make it up. I could look at it, but it was something like, eventually he's paying like $250 a month. They have like $100,000 now. I think at the end it's going to lower down to like 45 or something. And he was trying to sell them $25,000 at $3 something a month. And I'm like, well, term going up in price or down in coverage sucks. But so I said, you were trying to sell them less coverage for more money? I was like, what was your angle? And he was like, can you call me? I don't want to type it all. I was like, no, what was your angle? You were trying to sell them less coverage for more money because theirs went up in price? Like, I think you missed something. Like, going up in price or going down in coverage sucks, but it's better than what you offered them. You know what I mean? There was no angle there for him. So it's like, as we're starting to have these conversations, you got to find some kind of angle. The angle wouldn't have been beat a price for me. I would have said, hey, I assume that policy then is for income replacement and you're looking at this for burial. Is that correct? Now I put that in a bucket over there to take care of income replacement and take care of this over here for burial. Now, if someone's goes up and it goes up, we had one last month where it went up to 600, then 900, then 1200, then 1800. I can sell someone less coverage for more money now, given in the future they're eventually going to cancel it. But this dude's all the way to 95 was still a better deal than he was trying to pitch them today. So they were better off keeping that other policy. I mean, his own numbers, I'm like, you actually just offered them a worse deal. Like, significantly. Right? Because he was trying to replace a term policy with a whole life, which sometimes makes sense, but not in that case, because I'm like, what was this one for? They didn't buy that one at 25 for burial. So why did you go down the burial? You were comparing not burial to burial, bro. The angle was wrong. Right? So as I'm starting to go through this reason in the situation, for me, I'm trying to build something like, why do we need to talk? What's your thought initially? And then do I have to add and or build some other scenario that you may not even see yet? Because that could be too. You know, and he was trying to do that. I see what he was trying to do, but he didn't pay attention to his pricing. Like it made 0 sense for them to say yes to him. You know, yeah, that's a term policy, but at 95, it was still 45 grand for $250, where his is 25 grand for 300. It makes 0 sense for them to make that move. You know, so as I'm starting to do this, do you have any insurance? Are we working with anything at all? You got nothing. Now I'm setting the foundation. I got to start thinking. And this is hard for new agents to do. This is where I'm better. Now I have an advantage. I apologize. I have a lot of reps. All right, someone picks up the phone, I'm significantly better than most of y'all. Just, why? I've made significantly more phone calls. I've had significantly more situations, mistakes, trial and error, studying things, going back and listening to my own content, seeing where I lost people. Like just as I start doing this, when I lose people, I don't just get mad and go, shit, missed that one, asshole's got no money. I go, what did I do wrong? He had intent, he filled something out, he said yes to me, he let me talk, and somehow we ended without a sale. What did I do wrong? I messed something up. I start blaming the lead, that's just a cheap excuse to get out of it. So I'm always trying to figure out, how did I present this situation and how could maybe I've done it differently? Now I've done it so many times, I know so many scenarios in my head, I can reference past clients like all day long. All right, so as I'm starting to ask these questions in my brain, when you're following a script and you're going, John says, ask them, do you have anything else in place or nothing at all? They're answering it and you're looking at the next question. Oh, he said nothing. Hold on. Has some. Oh, nope, that's has some. Shit. Where's nothing? I get it. And I can do that on Discord too, which is fine week 1. I'm not mad at it. Week 2, but 3 months in, 4 months in, 6 months in, right? We got to start building, like, where am I going with these questions? My questions are always leading me somewhere. And if they go off rail, I probably get off the phone.
All right, guys, if you'd like to attend my office 2-day workshop event that we put on 2 or 3 times a year, spend 2 full days, a deep dive into everything you need to know to be successful in the space, whether you're selling or whether you want to build an agency, whether you want to learn how to run a staff, recruit, sell at a high level, whatever it is, we dive into it. Again, workshop style, so super interactive. I run them every 2 or 3 times a year. There is a wait list. If you go to johnwetmore.com/workshop, you can put in your information and we will let you know when the next one is. There are 2 levels only. There's a basic ticket. You sit in the back of the room and you can attend, but the executive ticket is access to a private mastermind at my house where we have a full dinner. We spend 3 or 4 hours there as well, engaging with each other and learning at a deeper level, a little bit closer knit. So if you want to be at the next one, register at the link. Later.
You know, I'm trying to build some kind of situation. So for me, they either have some or they don't. If they don't, it's really easy for me. And again, if you understand why do these leads not have insurance? In general. Okay, but the most common reason these people don't have insurance.
Cost. Procrastination.
Yeah, they don't even know the price because most of them haven't shopped. They've just been putting it off. By far the most common reason people don't have life insurance, they've just been putting it off. So if you say I have none, how do I not benefit by going, do you not have any because you've been really sick or you just been putting it off, bro? Just lazy? Got it. Hey, did something happen in life, something trigger it to make you decide to stop procrastinating? Like someone gets sick or pass away or what triggered it? Yeah. It's like, that's the reason. That's why he did that. Got it. Locked in. And you just told me you're ready to stop procrastinating. So later when you say you want to think about it, I'm dealing with that now. Why? I see it coming. You're already a procrastinator. You'd have the damn insurance. You drive by 100 life insurance places a day. You see 400 commercials a week. You get 70 pieces of junk mail a week. It's not like you don't know it exists. You've just been putting it off. And I just don't want to be the guy that you put it off with next. Because by default and by nature, you're a procrastinator. And people hate to pull the trigger. You know how many people inquired to come to this? Like 300. You know how many hit pay? You're looking at them. Everyone wants stuff, but most people put it off. And they procrastinate. It's just who we are as humans. We all do it. You know, I could give you plenty of things I procrastinate on. I try to be better at it than most, but we're all that way. You know, think about the damn yard work you were supposed to do, or the project at the house you were supposed to do, or you know what I mean? Like all the things you put off. So I understand that. So as I start asking these questions, they become very intentional for me because I'm trying to accomplish something. Right? They go, yes, I have some. I go, okay, did you get it recently? You've had it a while. Why? I got to figure out pricing. I got to, you know what I mean? There's different factors. If they got it a while ago, I know I can't beat the price. If they got it recently, I know they're probably unhappy with the price or they got some guaranteed issues. So they're unhappy about something. If the answer is recent, they're unhappy. If the answer is old, they don't have enough and something triggered them to realize they don't have enough. I'm convinced those are the only two options. So if you go, yeah, I have some. I go, okay, did you get it recently? You had it a while. Got it recently. Huh. What is it you don't like about it? What happened? What's got you looking again already? It's just a very simple fucking question. Now I got it a while ago. Okay, got it. Did something happen that made you realize that's not enough? Did someone get sick or pass away or something? Or what made you realize you don't have enough? Which says you're buying more insurance today, bro, right? I'm giving them the answer and then confirming. Ending with a question. A very intentional question. All right? Yeah, I just, you know, whatever answer you want to get. I don't know what answers y'all get because I don't know how well y'all ask the questions.
To know what the price was.
Yeah, for sure. But you have current insurance?
Yes.
Okay. What's got you looking for more, though?
Just, you know, to have more.
I understand. Can you give me a little more clarity? Like, you have 15 grand? You said, maybe we get, you have 15 grand?
15
Okay.
grand.
What's the 15 grand for?
You know, my funeral.
Okay. Have you had anyone die, had to pay for a funeral or anything? Do you have any idea what they cost?
No.
You don't know what a funeral costs?
I don't.
Okay, got it. What made you go with 15K?
Somebody just told me that that's what I should have.
Okay. So I've seen funerals go anywhere from 10, 15, 20 grand, kind of depends, right? But I guess if you're not sure of a funeral, what's got you looking specifically? Are you looking for more, you're not looking for more money for a funeral, what's got you looking for more insurance? Because we have a lot of different programs and I want to make sure I help you out the best way because there's lots of different options, lots of different benefits, and I got to see if you qualify. But I want to make sure I point you in the right direction. Can you just, maybe I'm a little confused, give me a little more clarity on why you're looking?
Just, you know, if it's not that expensive, can, you know, give my family some more.
Yeah, but just no particular reason whatsoever?
No, yeah, no.
I'm probably not your guy. I hope you have a good day.
Why did you say that?
Because I have no interest in talking to her.
I will never buy.
She's not intentional.
I will never buy.
She's fucking with me.
Because if there's no amount, because if they can't label it, there's no emotional need. The logic is never going to match the emotion to meet it there with the decision. There's not enough.
That person has a need. Me and her just don't create a connection at the moment. The timing I called her might have been bad. Who knows what's going on? She doesn't want to be sold, so she's avoiding the questions to give the answer because she doesn't want to go down the path. She wants to procrastinate more. So I'm going to let her procrastinate more. What do I give a shit?
So she might have said, she also might have said, well, I don't know, I just want to quote. You'd still say, I'm not your guy.
Yeah, I understand. I understand you want to quote. But what's the reason you want to quote? I know you didn't just roll out of bed this morning looking for quotes on different things, and life insurance happened to be one of them.
I'm just really looking.
Okay, do you want me to give you a quote on a helicopter today too, or what else are you looking for quotes on?
If you got them.
That would work on me, quite frankly.
But the problem is when it all stems back to the lead flow, when the lead flow is not high enough and they're desperate to continue that conversation, they do not want to let that lead go. They're going to go waste their time for 2 hours underwriting and all of that to find the best place for them and
because they found
spend the
somebody else.
deals.
The difference is, I don't know, when people are just looking for a quote, do you actually believe that they rolled out of bed and went, I'm so fucking bored today? I just for shit curiosity want to know like what life insurance costs. For no reason, I don't want any at all whatsoever. Sounds like fun research for the day.
Well, okay. Yeah, I was just.
My question is, do people believe that?
When you put it that way, no.
Okay, I think agents somehow believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. So by default, my questioning is going to be different. So you're trying to sell me that you only want to quote.
Until you put it like that, I understand that. And now I can be much more direct.
Correct.
Thank you.
Think about where they come from, and where like they're getting targeted.
Now, you don't want to tell me the reason. That's okay. I'm just not going to spend time with you. I'm not the quote guy. I will tell clients that all day long. I'm not the quote guy. You could have Googled a quote. I'm not trying to be a dick. You could go, how much does life, 10 grand cost life? You get a quote in 4 seconds. You know? I'm like, get you insurance guy. You want insurance? I'm here to help you. You want quotes? I mean, what do you want to quote with? You want me to make one up? There's 7,000 insurance companies. It's $8. If they keep pushing, I'll go, it's $8. For what? I don't know. I just gave you a random quote.
Have you ever gotten someone to come around for being an asshole?
Yes, all the time. Yeah. I mean, it's not a big percentage, but it's regular. Yeah, and then I love the most when they apologize after. I'm an asshole too, so it doesn't offend me when people are assholes. Like in any, I don't want to be, but I can take it, and I can be very easily. So I have fun with it now. I find joy in showing people like y'all that it's okay and it doesn't hurt you and you can maneuver it. But I like the challenge of being able to get someone to come down from hot. You know, now if I go at it the wrong way and I'm an asshole back, it never works. Like that, sometimes where I get loose screws sometimes is I want to like prove a point and be right in the moment, and then I'll do it and it feels good quickly, but it doesn't work. You know, so sometimes I'll be like, see, that was fun, but it doesn't work. Don't do it. Like sometimes I humor myself and I internally feel good, but it's probably unhealthy. You know, but I can get people to come off. I'm actually kind of decent at it. You know.
But those are all like super disarming anyway, because you're not being like an asshole back.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm just looking for quotes. Like a quote on what? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to give you a quote when I don't know who you are? Like,
yeah.
We have to talk.
It's like, I mean, I could give an example too. I mean, if you called me and you were looking for a car and you just wanted a quote before I asked you what kind of car you want, what do you want me to say? Yeah. I can give you a car for $8 grand. I give you a car for 800 grand. I just have to understand some questions so I know what to quote you. Things like that tend to disarm people if I want to be more strategic about it. You know what I mean? And I'll blame myself. That's why I go like, I'm sorry, maybe I'm slow and misunderstood. I know you want some quotes, and sometimes, you know, what works a lot of times is I might go like, hey Jake, let me ask you a question, man. And again, I will get you your quote, but do you know how life insurance works at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you licensed?
No.
Okay. All right. Let me kind of explain the process, because I want to make it easy for both of us versus dragging this thing out. Because you want to quote quick. I promise I don't want to be on the phone long either. Right? I just want to help you. But the process of getting a quote, like a number's a number, but the reality is to get you an actual number that matters to you, they look at your age and your health. And then it's also going to be dependent on how many benefits and what kind of insurance you want, because there's multiple different kinds. Again, no different than there's multiple different kinds of cars. Or if you want to buy some clothes, you can go to Goodwill, or you could go to a nice suit store. You know what I mean? Like there's all different variations. So what my job is to help you and your family, to make sure when you drop dead, your family's taken care of. That's what you want most, right? Okay, so if you allow me to do my job, Jake, no disrespect whatsoever, but if you allow me to ask you a few questions so I can understand your situation better and your health a little bit better, that'll allow me to give you a quote a lot quicker than me going back and forth with you about why I should give you a quote or not. Is that fair? I can go down that road if I want to. You know what I mean? There's different ways to kind of navigate it. But, you know, I'm going to try to like address and deal with the situation where most go, can you just give me a quote? And they go, yes, and they move on. If I haven't got the reason why you filled it out and understand your situation and get some kind of a why, I'm just not doing it. I will not do it. You know? Now, if it's vague, sometimes, you know what I mean? But they're not rude. It's kind of vague. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just getting old, man. I just know I need something. But they're not an emotional kind of guy. They're not going to give in to a big story. Sometimes I'm okay going forward a little bit with a little baby why. Especially sometimes when they know they need some insurance. Like, yeah, man, I've been putting it off, man. I know I need something. You know, I just want to make sure I take care of the family, dude. But there's nobody died. Nobody got sick. There's no big earthly fucking massive, you know. Sometimes, hey, if you drop dead, who'd be in charge? I like asking that. Who'd be in charge? Who'd be paying the bills, making the phone calls, dealing with all the mess? Who would that be? Susan, my daughter, my uncle, whoever. Go, got it. Or you get those people, if I want to go, how are people hard? When I ask that question, some people go, I got nobody. I got those. I got nobody. I go, no, nobody? Like, meaning, and my next question is, who would be the first person to find out you were dead? That's how I ask it. No one. Dude, eventually someone's going to realize you're missing. You drop dead today, who's probably going to be the first person to figure out you're dead? I ask it that way, that direct, several times a month. I don't know, it'd probably be my neighbor. Okay. Now, the last guy I did it with, it's the weirdest situation ever. He kept saying no one, and I found out he lived with a dude, he had a roommate. This guy, the 50-year-old guy living with a 50-year-old guy, and I'm like, what? Dude, if you dropped dead on the kitchen floor, wouldn't your roommate find you, bro? It was the weirdest situation. I didn't even understand. He ended up buying, but it was awkward. He tried to tell me he had no one, but this dude lived there. Like, it was very weird. Yes. Friend. Got it. Got it, bro. You know. So those is kind of some of my favorite. And again, I put in the bullet points, kind of like the I don't know what's the word I want to use. Like, I don't know, kind of power questions, if you will, that I like to ask that trigger response, that give me the best responses based on where I'm trying to go. You know, so I mess around with that, trying to figure out why. Again, I'll somewhere blend in there, figuring out the who and what it looks like. And sometimes, you know, I do like to ask some people, like, all right, can you give me a little idea? Like, if you do drop dead, you got nothing going on. Again, who would be in charge? Who'd be making the phone calls and paying the bills and doing all the things if you pass away? Who would that be? Susan. All right, Susan, daughter, got it. All right, so if you were dropped dead this morning, and she had to deal with all this stuff, does she have the money to pay for the funeral?
Oh yeah, she's loaded.
Yes. Okay, got it. So I'm assuming then you want to take care of this life insurance because you just don't want to leave a burden on her?
I really should be fine. She
Okay.
makes a lot of money.
Okay, so what are we talking for? What are you looking for then?
I just wanted to know what it costs.
I just want to know what it costs.
Yeah. And we're back in the same circle. Perfect. But if you're not concerned about it, you're okay. Are you okay that she pays it for you? Like when you die, are you okay if she comes out of pocket paying it?
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Okay. You just filled this out because you're bored? You want to talk to me today or what?
I just want to
Okay. All right. I hope you have a great day. Good luck finding them. And I'm out.
Do you ever follow up with those people?
Never.
His pipeline's too full.
I knew the answer to that question.
No. Now, to be honest, they'll get the lead one day. I'll give the lead out. Just bad timing. I don't believe them. Remember, my core belief is I believe nothing. When they're pushing back, I don't believe any of it. Anything that's other than I need life insurance, I don't believe. None of it. In the moment, I couldn't get through it. So be it. You know what I mean? So I move on and I call the next people, and if he calls that lead, how many of y'all close leads? I mean, not that a lot of people are in my direct, but there's plenty of people. If I went over the years, how many agents close deals behind me? Oh, you can clean the fuck up behind me. Because I'm going to wear them out quick and I'm going to move on. And if the timing isn't good now, I ain't calling them again. But if Giovanni calls the person next week, it doesn't mean timing isn't going to be better. Maybe they hit it off with him. Kyla calls. She has a sweet little voice. Maybe they talk to her, dude. You know what I mean? Maybe they had a bad day when I called. There's just so many variables that I'm not going to pretend it's the lead. I just don't believe it's the lead. I believe timing and I believe I did something wrong. Those are the two things. Timing was bad. I messed up.
For the timing part where, I mean, everybody gets on the phone. This isn't good timing when at the grocery store spilled milk or whatever the fuck is.
Yeah.
Is there a...
Yeah. Hey, no problem, dude. I was just calling you to put you on my schedule. I don't really have time right now anyway. What's a better time, you think? You normally around mornings or afternoons? I just flip it and pretend I was calling them to book an appointment.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you book a book?
Yeah. In that scenario, I will.
You book those?
Sorry, Jake.
Yeah. I mean, if I have a booked appointment, I call them. I'm not going to not call them. That'd be bad. I mean, no point in booking the appointment then. Yeah.
Do you put those in like a different category?
Nope. I don't pay no attention. I forget everything. The more I think, if I make notes, if I go into it with some kind of preconceived something, I'll think different. Yeah. I don't want to be like asshole at the grocery store yesterday. If I call that guy, how am I going to be when the phone's ringing? I'm going to be ready for an asshole again.
Yeah.
Dude, if I don't know who he is, I'm talking to enough people. You think I remember who that guy is in 2 days at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon when I've talked to 13 people since? I have no earthly idea who that guy is tomorrow.
So you just call him back for your appointment? Just
Yeah.
Go through the same?
Yeah. Hey, Jake, John, getting back to you, man. Just giving you a call about that life insurance thing. How you doing today, bud?
I think, I mean, ultimately, like, your show rate for those are probably going to be way lower.
Oh, it's shit.
So, like,
Yeah, it's garbage.
time
You
blocker.
don't send reminder texts. You don't like schedule it into a CRM. You just call them.
Oh, yeah, so I messed with like some of the appointments go on a CRM, like a little bit, some aged ones, but I don't like all that stuff really. I'd rather, if you see the thing, I mean, the percentage of mine that are one call closes are obnoxious. Again, I'm not going to not take appointments. You know what I mean? I just know that the show rate on appointments is like fucking 10%, 20% max. But I sell a couple a week on appointments.
So the vast majority is just one call flows. Keep them.
Yes, yeah. Again, everything works a little. I can, you know what I mean? I can put things into a CRM. I like putting age leads into a CRM more than I like new leads in a CRM. Put some old ass leads, year old, 2 years old, throw them in an automation. Dude, I get a few of those a week that I talk to. I like that better. I don't really like new leads in a CRM. I'd rather just call them. If I go year to date, I mean, look at the one call close versus appointments. 175 apps through one call close, 19 apps through text or booked appointment.
Can you say that over again?
75 one call close, 16 called in, 19 are booked appointments. 10 of them are by text automation. 9 of them are by me booking. And I book a lot. Not a big number like I'm booking 30 a week, but I bet just because calling people and timing's bad, you know what I mean? When I get them on the phone the first time, I mean, I'm booking, no less than 10 a week, easy, that I'm pushing off from the time I get them 10, 15 plus a week, that I just, timing doesn't work for one call close. They're in the middle of 19 things, whatever's going on, and I just got to push it off. I mean, I book a decent amount of them, but I've only written 19 all year, so I'm writing, 4 or 5 a month? So I'm writing 1 or 2 a week from booked appointments, and I'm easily putting 10 plus a week on my calendar. You know? So
Did 16 call in like they're calling you back?
yeah, they're calling in from the lead, that thing I told you.
Like because on
On the GOAT leads where they do the thing. So yeah, I sell a couple a week from that too. I sell as many from that as I do booked appointments. And booked appointments are way more work. You know? So again, I'm not going to turn them down, but I'm not going to build my business around them. You know what I mean? If you're sitting in the car on the interstate and you're freaking the fuck out, I always find it weird that you answered on the interstate and then said you can't talk. So I'm like, well, why the hell did you answer? But I know I can't win that argument. Now, I've closed plenty of deals with people on the phone on the interstate. Some people are willing to talk, some aren't. If you're in the grocery store, you got 19 things going on in the background, or I hear 17 kids fucking screaming in the background. Sometimes I'll offer. You know, if I can keep them on the phone, I do. But if they're like distracted and got 100 things going on and I can't get good answers, I'm like, dude, you sound like you have 700 things going on. Would it be better if I call you a little bit later this afternoon? And I'll give you a chance to get out. Because again, I just want to move on and get back on the phone. You know, if they're
block your schedule to where like I have appointments for the
No.
afternoon of Thursday.
No,
It's like,
I tried that. That's all I started in the business was running appointments in home. So when I got onto telesales, I tried to book appointments all day long. It's awful.
yeah.
It's just not, I don't like it that way. Because then you got to sit around, like, I got an appointment now. Well, when's my next one booked? Do you double or triple book to be safe, or do you book every 30 minutes? And then they're not there. Then what do you do for the next 30 minutes? You don't have enough time to call and one call close, so then you're sitting around twiddling your thumbs till 2:30 from 2. It's just so inefficient. You know what I mean? So I'll do them, but they're not my favorite. You know, I'm not going to turn down an appointment, but I'm not trying to make a living doing that. You know, if I can get a couple extra a week, cool. So I get 1 or 2 extra a week from appointments. I get 1 or 2 extra a week from calling in, and I can close 4, 5, 6 deals from one call closing. Do them at my 10 apps a week.
And the rest who offer it, which is probably well over half, of like, oh, now's not a good time. Can you call me some other time? It's just you overcoming the objection to get the one call closed there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try. I'll mostly ignore it. You know what I mean? Yeah, no problem, dude. Do you mind if I just ask you a couple quick questions? I'm the guy you put in charge. You know what I mean? If I can get by it, great. If they're literally adamant, again, I get it. I mean, I go, okay, no problem. And I try to schedule it. But
His philosophy behind it too is like, if you're truly busy, would you answer your phone for a number that you didn't know?
correct. Again, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. So I try to get through it. If I can't get through it, so be it. You win. I don't have the energy to argue. It's not going to help. If I don't feel like you're tracking, if you're not on my train, you know what I mean? If you're not going down the same line as I am, if you're not following my script, if you will, if you're not structured with me, if you're trying to be outside of my structure, I'm out. No different than agents. I'm trying to bring our agents on and they want to do this, that, and the other and all these different things and mix it up. And I'm like, I get agents that want to come work with me and then they want to do things different than I do. I'm like, what? Like, they're like, what would you do? I'm like, I would do what I do. I actually do what I do. So that's why I recommended you do it, because I do it. That's why I said to do it that way. And then they go over here and I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Rewrite the script.
Yes. Yeah. How's that working out? My version is when you do all these things, like all these things, you're like, I do it this way. I'm like, how's it working? How's it working? Well, I like to, my personality is, how's it working? Do me a favor, try it my way. Try it my way for 90 days. And then come back and tell me you didn't make more money. And you can go back to your way. Because we already know your result. If you want to go back to your result, you can always go back there. I think it's weird my way works for me. I don't know why it wouldn't work for you. Your way clearly isn't working for you. Or you'd be training up here. So can you just appease me and prove me wrong for the next 60 or 90 days? That's how I go about it with agents. I know it's uncomfortable. I know some of it's counterintuitive. I know some of it doesn't make any sense. I know some of it's scary. I understand. Trust me, I was new once too. I get it. And that's why when I'm recruiting people, I try to talk about this stuff in advance. I do my best, you know. I'd rather cover a lot of stuff up front than deal with it all later. And so it's tough, you know.
What up, insurance agents? If you're looking for a roadmap on how to win in this industry, check out the book I wrote about a year ago, Do More Now, Get Better Later. Check out the reviews here somewhere. My team's putting them on. I'm getting tons of great feedback about all the people it's helped. Appreciate those of y'all that have bought it. Appreciate all the reviews that are going out. If you're new to following me or the industry, check out the book and get it in your hands now.
I'll give you an example. I wanted to lose my mind. Some of y'all might have heard about this. He sends me a message the other day, maybe like 3 weeks ago. And he goes, there's this other guy, Daryl, who ditched us. He's the one that came in second place last month, and he was terrible, honestly, selling. He did nothing for a while, and we worked with him a bunch, and the activity thing, and I kept screaming. And what's funny is he's one of these guys, he knows everything about underwriting, but he sells no insurance. He knows every rule, every book, what page it's on. He knows everything about everything, but he sells no insurance. And I'm like, dude, if you would just work, and he'd do all these things, I'm like, 40 hours, and scream it, top of my lungs. Finally, he does it. He sells $48K last month. I was trying to tell the story earlier when I was with Giovanni. Don't let me forget about Nick and Daryl with goat leads. That's where I want to get if I lose track. So I was down with Giovanni. I took my son to the college tour, and me and Giovanni had lunch, and Kyla, and we go have lunch, and on my way back, and it was the 31st, March 31st. And this dude is trying to beat me for the month. And I keep giving everyone shit, like, and Reese keeps posting on the internet, like, will someone please beat me on stats? And we keep fucking with people. And so it's the last day of the month, and I'm traveling for the last 3 days of the month. So I'm ahead of them by like a few grand. And I'm like, dude, I'm giving you a chance to win. I've got 3 days I'm on the road. Beat me if you can. I can't sell. I'm hanging out with Braden for a few days, yada, yada. So we go down, we see him, we have lunch. And last day he sells a policy, he passes me. I get a referral from a carrier. Sometimes when a client calls into the carrier, the original agent who quit, if you build long enough, when the original agent that quits, they send them to me because their upline's gone, so they have them call me. So I write a few deals, 3, 4, 5 deals a month from carriers calling in from agents that quit. I got one today. Dope. They're complete laydowns. It's great. So I'm driving. Braden was driving back we have like a 22-minute drive from where we were to the airport. So I have this lead from Mutual of Omaha, and I'm like, dude, Daryl's winning. So I, from the passenger seat, call this client back. I write an app on my phone on the way to the airport while we're late to the airport. This dude tells me the airport's way closer than it is. He's like, you'll be fine. You leave 7 minutes before, you'll make it on time. Dude, we're like having to run through the airport. My phone's on 2%. Braden forgot his ID, so he couldn't get through pre-check. The complete shit show. So during this chaos of trying to leave, we leave lunch was delivered late. We leave 40 minutes later than he made fun of me, told me I'm old and I'm the old nerd that needs to be at the airport 4 hours early. So I'm like, all right, let me be young and cool and go last minute. So during this, I didn't want to lose, so I call this client and I write an app in the car, in the passenger seat. I write America First gets declined. I write Ethos gets approved. And Daryl, it made me pass Daryl. He stayed up till midnight trying to dial that night and never closed. I beat him by like $1,000 for the night by writing an app in the car on the way to the airport when I don't have to, right? Just purely to push someone else, right? And to prove, like, I like winning. I like being first. And I get to pick on him now forever for it. And I've been traveling for the last 2 weeks, and I'm still somehow ahead of him because he stopped working this month out of nowhere. So anyway, back the Nick dude. So this is Nick and Daryl, the two that I'm kind of working with, coaching, both brand new, both kind of suck, both trying to figure it out. And obviously both now 40K months back to back, each of them. And so Nick texted me a few weeks ago. He goes, me and Daryl found something out about goat leads. I was like, oh God. What, Nick? He's like, they're running sweepstakes to get people to fill out forms and these leads and this ad. He starts going on and on and on about all the fucking negative things about some ad, and some leads told them that they only filled it out because they got coins to something. And I was like, bruh, you really believe that situation? And he did. Him and Daryl cracked the code. They found out GOAT was fucking them over on purpose on this one ad, and they had a specific ad. He's like, this specific ad, and they had figured it out. And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like, and he's like, they're watering down their leads. I'm like, you had between you had two people give you an objection. You've bought 100 leads a week for X amount of weeks. You had two people today, and suddenly all the leads are bad. And he had believed they were. He just believed they were. He dead believed it. And so I go back and forth with him, and I'm like, dude, even if you are right that they ran that ad, do you really think that every one of these agents that are out here, do you think I'm selling all this insurance and that you can't do it? Like, do you think they're just sending you the bad ad and me the good ad? And do you make like, and I go through his thought process. I spend fucking 30 minutes working on him on different variations of why I think he's thinking stupid. And I was like, dude, can you please just for a minute think about what's behind the lead, and that's a person and their family, and I do all the things I talked about earlier. He was like, fine. He gets mad at me and he starts calling. Dude, that's the day he wrote, that day, right after that talk, he wrote 9 fucking apps on the same GOAT leads that day. And he texted me back a little while later. He's like, I guess it's not the leads or the ads. And I'm like, I mean, bro, you can always find something wrong if you're really hunting for it. And I'm like, if you and Daryl didn't spend all fucking day playing CIA Inspector Gadget on fucking GOAT leads, like, maybe you should have been calling leads. Y'all would have sold more insurance, and Daryl would have beat me for the month. Instead, he fucking came in second place, and you're over here crying with each other. You know? And it's like, people got to be so careful about the way they think, and especially when you're around other people who think negative. That gets infectious quick. And then you start using someone else to validate. So he thought something, Daryl thought something, then they got together and they had like thought they solved the world's lead problem. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, so you got him. Oh no. You're
one time he says, if you Google hard enough, you'll find people that hate Jesus Christ.
100%. 100%. Dude, it's funny enough, I use that line in recruiting when people say they Google our company. Because if you Google, probably any company, but if you Google FFL, there's all kinds of bad shit. Yeah. And I always ask, I go, hey, have you ever Googled your religion? They stop asking questions.
Then I heard him say one time, he said,
So it's a good one. Keep using it.
you've been around, if you know a company that's been around for 100 years, you're gonna get some bad reviews, but they're still around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people are looking for reasons why things don't work. And I'm like, if you can just change your thought process and why not look for reasons why they do work? Let's just change our approach. You know, when you work on agents, I work on mindset and activity so much. All the other stuff is just such a small piece of the game. You know, he had my script, he had all the other stuff before, but his thought process was someone's trying to rip him off. So now he's approaching the leads in a different manner. You know, so I think as you start approaching these things the right way, it's just going to change the result pretty quick because you speak differently when you believe differently. You know, the words come out of your mouth different when you have a different belief level. So you're going to have to start believing more of what I believe in leads and client, the way that things work, than what you currently believe. And again, we're wired to sell ourselves on why it's not working. So why? So you don't take ownership for it. You want it to be someone else's fault. Why? Because then it's not your fault. I'm like, well, if it's your fault, you can fix it. You know? So some of the shit going on in my life, people are like, why are you taking that approach? I'm like, what the fuck you want me to do? You think they're going to like wake up and be like, hey, Wetmore was right? It's like, all right, what did I fuck up? How did I get here? It is what it is. Let me just keep it fucking moving. You know? And it's just, I don't know, that works better for me. It's less stressful. If I got to blame this lead, then I got to blame the next lead. You know, leads are the magic. Like, and again, can there be a little variation in quality? Sure, yes, I get all that. But even the best lead is still a shitty lead. If you think they're all going to answer the phone and be ready for you to buy and make it easy as shit and be laydowns. And I've learned to tell people, like, if working this business was as easy as you wish it were in every way, if the pickup rate was 90%, if the close rates were 98%, if every lead knew you were calling, they were ready for you, and if it was all the shit you wish it were, you know what the fucking lead would cost? Common sense supply and demand. Do you know how little you would get paid? So the things you want would put you out of the business. You wouldn't be able to afford the lead and you wouldn't make no money. If anyone could close them because they were easy, like the carrier would do it themselves. So I love the difficulty of it because it weeds out the weak ones. And then I get to make a bunch of money because most people ain't willing to do this.
You spoke earlier about getting better at your craft, right? So you'll have these agents that are doing the massive action and they just stop.
Yeah, I love those.
What is your tweaks to where do you direct police cop them for honing in their craft?
Well, I mean, a combination. So my favorite thing to do first is, are you recording your stuff and then listening to it and comparing it to what you hear me say you should be saying? Meaning you listen to the trainings and you try to implement it. If an agent isn't, it's like, do you watch sports at all? Football? Quarterback throws an interception. Very first thing they do when they go to the sideline. Right away. Why? See what they did wrong. Don't blame the football. You know what I mean? It's like, what did I do wrong here? What did I misread? What did the players do? Like, what went wrong here? You know, so for me, I look at this thing very much like a sport, and I think people should be watching their own game film. And no one does. No one does.
No, it's uncomfortable listening to yourself.
It's uncomfortable to be broke, too. It's uncomfortable to stutter like shit on the phone when a client gives you an objection. Right? So if you want to get better, watch yourself. So I won't work with anyone. Like, I like working with people one-on-one and tweaking some stuff, but if they're not listening and watching their own stuff, I won't work with them one-on-one. I won't tweak their stuff. You've got to do it first. I mean, if you record all your calls and then you spend an hour at night, instead of watching your favorite Netflix show, you listen to 2 of your call recordings, you will hear instantly the stuff you're doing wrong. And you'll be shocked at the things that come out of your mouth relative to what you think you're saying. You'd be like, holy shit, you can almost train yourself, at least the beginning, right? And so I always tell people to go and listen to your recordings and then make a few tweaks the next day and then listen again the next night, just one or two. Don't stop in the middle of the day. Don't stop between calls. This happens at 11 p.m. at night. Do this in obnoxious hours when it's dark out. If you should be making phone calls, don't listen to yourself. That's the mistake most are going to make. They're going to miss a call. They're going to want to listen to it now. Don't do it now. End of the day, pick a couple, listen to them. Compare them to what you should be saying. Then I want you to make some tweaks until you feel like you have it down. Then when you feel comfortable, I want you to send one of your recordings to me. And then we'll go through it on one of the team calls so I can help you and the team. And then I'll break down someone's call. And to be honest, I usually don't get more than 3 minutes into the call. Because there's so much I can fix in the first couple minutes, I never make it anywhere near the end of the call. Ever. I can spend 45 minutes talking about the first 2 minutes of a phone call. And then point out live, hey, why'd you say that? Hey, dude, you asked them about their insurance. They said something, you didn't even ask how much coverage they have. You didn't even ask the price. You didn't even ask when they got it. Like, what? Do you not study? How do you present them a price when you don't know how much they have now? And I can dive into the mistakes and why it's a mistake. But if they aren't studying their own stuff first, I about have no interest. It doesn't interest me, you know? So that's typically the direction for me.
That's the main part, just that. Do you please pop up any other things to?
I mean, if I catch someone live a little bit, I also don't want to make people overthink too much either. I don't want to make people walk on eggshells around me. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when they're live, I like to listen to them do a bunch before I police one. So if they're messing up, I let them mess up. I like letting people mess up. You know? It was like when my kids were little. I let them climb up the table and fall off of it. I want them to learn. They bump into the thing. I'm not one to run and go like, ah! You know what I mean? I've always used that example. A little kid runs into the pole here and they fall down. First thing they're going to do is what? They're going to look at me. I'm laughing. They're probably laughing. I'm freaking out. They're probably going to cry. Right? We're wired with that. So if I start freaking out, they're going to freak out. If I stay calm, they stay calm. So I'm much more when people live dial. I'm not a big coach now kind of guy. I just like to watch. I take it in. I take notes. So when I'm on Zoom, I don't say a ton or on Discord or whatever. I just take a lot of notes on people and I usually only target a couple people at a time. I'm not trying to fix everybody at once. I'm looking like who's doing the most work. They stand out a little bit. I go, hey, come over here. And I start working with people that are doing more, you know, and I'll fine tune things. And I just watch them and I'm looking for tendencies. I say shit wrong on calls sometimes. Dude, I'll get on a call and I'll be like, damn, I fucked that one up. Shit. You know what I mean? We all make mistakes on things. So a mistake, I'm not worried about. I'm looking for tendencies, patterns that they do wrong. And if I can find one, then I can go, hey, question, why do you ask this? When you ask this question, what are you looking for? Hey, when you worded it that way, what were you trying to accomplish with that statement? They have no intention. It's just words come out of their mouth. Whereas the words coming out of my mouth are trying to get a reaction, a response, you know what I mean? I'm trying to invoke emotion. There's something I'm trying to accomplish with almost every statement or question I have. And so what I want to teach more importantly is the structure of it all. Like, what was the angle there? That's why I asked Nick the angle there. I'm like, what was your angle to close that? We still not answered it because I wouldn't call him on it. You know, he didn't have one. He was just trying to give a quote and get them to say yes. There was no angle. You know, so now I got to go, okay, he doesn't go for angles yet. Now I got to watch some more calls, see what he does. And be like, I'll put that one in the bank. I might talk about another one. I'll be like, hey, now when we're talking to people early, how are you trying to what problem are you solving here? His only the problem he was solving was price, and that wasn't the problem. He misdiagnosed that person, you know? And so it's much more kind of watch people a little bit, find things, and then, again, I ask a lot of permission. Hey, do you mind if I give you some feedback? I do that a lot. Anybody, any human, honestly, it becomes a life thing for me because it works so well. Yeah.
If they send you their recording after they've tweaked their own, do you ask permission granted to do it on the team call, or is it understood in your agency that that may happen?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go through. Yeah, I mean, everybody says yes, to be honest. They know me, you know. Again, if there's some, I don't know a situation where it wouldn't apply. Yeah, I don't know. I don't ever have an issue with it, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to not tell them, but I certainly like to do it on a team call. I've done it some outside of one. They send one, and I tend to only listen to them when I'm in a car driving. So it's like not like you can send it to me and I'll listen to it now. And sometimes they'll send me 4 of them with 4 hours. I'm like, I don't have 4 hours to listen to your shit. Like, I just, you know. So my drive time is when I do that a lot. So if I'm in the car for 15, 20 minutes, I'll play one, I'll listen to it, and I'll catch something like, "Ooh, God, got it." And then I'll get on and do it. Like, I love doing it that way. You know, play it live. And again, we don't get far. You know, and then I can dive into some mindset. I like to only fix little pieces at a time too. If I try to fix the whole thing, it's too overwhelming. So I'll dive into like, and typically the beginning caused the end, right? So they're usually calling me and worried about the end. I got this was the situation, this is what went wrong, and I can diagnose something up here that I would have ended it, I'd have landed over here. You know what I mean? Where they ended up over here. I'm like, well, this caused that. And if I can teach that concept of this causes this, I can get people really good in the first couple minutes. That's where the money's made. You get your first 8 minutes down, you'll print money. I'm in an e-app in 8 minutes, 10 minutes max. I'm doing an application in 10 minutes.
How long does your call take less than 30 minutes then?
It depends on the carrier, how easy they do the PIN code, and you know what I mean, if they got it approved or declined right away. I'm in an e-app in 8 to 10 minutes. I can be under 30. I'm very rarely an hour.
Do you start the e-app at the start of the conversation?
No. So for me, I'll tell you the process. So for me, as we continue this, it'll kind of roll into the e-app part. So it's kind of the sort of starting to line up in the next step. So as I get there, kind of reason and why, I think we're pretty clear there. Obviously, the next thing I got to start doing is underwriting. Right? I got to now figure out, all right, I understand why you need insurance. Now the question is, where can I get you insurance? Right? And that's all based on health at this point. So, you know, typically I've let them know, age and health. I've usually covered something like that. I'm the guy they put in charge, blah, blah, questions. I got, you know, for me, I go, hey, I just tell people to tell me about their health. I don't really have a massive checklist I go through. I'm just like, hey, so next step is, you know, I gotta figure out a little bit about what you got going on health-wise to see what, if anything, you're eligible for. Can you tell me a little bit about what you got going on health-wise? Anything major going on? And I just like to hear them talk. I want to see if they're the guy that goes, nope, I'm healthy as a horse. Or if they're going to start giving me stuff and rattle off 17 medications. I just like to let people talk. I get a lot of information out of hearing people be themselves. So I know what I'm looking for, but I like to start out with what they got going on, if anything major. And you know, some pretend they got nothing, some give you right away, some somehow forget they had cancer last year. So you know what I mean? Some tell you they're on no meds, and I go, so you literally don't put any pills in your mouth every day? They're like, no, I put plenty of pills in my mouth. I'm like, you know.
So you do pry a little, like after let them speak?
Oh yeah, I pry a lot. No, I pry plenty.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear what they have to say first. Yep, and then I start doing my thing. Yep, yeah, man, because you get some. I want to see their tonality with it. You get some that are like, I'm all kinds of fucked up, man. You know what I mean? You get them. Yeah, I got a lot going on. Give me the big stuff. I mean, yep, correct, 100%. Diabetic. I'm like, no heart issues or no cancer? Nah. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then you got the ones that are like, healthy as a horse. Just had my heart patched together, got 17 stents, or, you know. Correct.
I said I go home.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it helps me understand who I'm working with a little bit. You know, you can have a little fun with it. You can, I don't know, it just helps me, you know, versus just grilling them. You know, it becomes engaging. Some people are scared to give their health stuff. Some people get nervous about the underwriting process. Some people think they can't qualify. You know what I mean? I can usually pick up on some things when I just let people talk. I tend to be able to, it gives me data as well as just health stuff. Again, I'm looking for more than just the answer, you know? Some people start hiding a little bit of stuff, you know what I mean? And so I kind of cover, was it a question? Okay, I think no, you're good. Yeah, they do, for sure. Yeah, so, you know, I'm looking for things. I'm trying to avoid guaranteed issue. You know, I think far too many agents write far too much guaranteed issue. You know, you hear they sneeze and you're like, GI. I'm like, dude, I write like 1 or 2 guaranteed issue products a month, maybe. Yeah, I barely write any. Yeah, and all I write is, I barely have to write GI. Yeah, I mean, I don't write a lot of them. You can.
Cancer. Damn.
I mean, some cancer you can get covered. Hell, I even had a guy yesterday tell me America's opened up on some cancer stuff. I haven't figured it out yet, but he's like, there's some, it asks something like, it goes based on diagnosed date, not are you being treated date now. I was like, that's fucking cool. Most people probably don't know that. You know, and then there's only a handful that are knockouts.
I don't think America knows that either.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, this is the study this stuff, you know?
IULs you can write, I mean, with transparent, you can write some answers.
Yeah, like real IULs under. See, I also only do simplified issue. They're
simplified.
Yeah. Got it. The IGO one or the other one?
No.
Right. Really? FX Express?
They have their new final expense product that goes to 100K.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was really lenient.
No, I'm saying the IUL.
IUL you're talking about,
The
yeah.
underwriting.
Got it.
That there's some,
Is it?
depending on the year and
Yeah.
type,
Yeah.
you can write.
Got it. I don't really do a ton of IULs. If I do an IUL, it's healthy and it's something. Yeah, I don't know that product really well. I'll be honest, I don't know a lot of products. I'm bread and butter. I read a lot of that one though. But
What's your like top 3 that you really like?
I should. Yeah, Americo for sure.
Americo, Ethos, and
Yeah.
Moo is